watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know. You're watching Poindexter Lounge for the unity.
Nicotina's mom! Tastes like sugar! Nonsense! Tastes like sugar! John Cena! Tastes like sugar!
Poindexter, you're getting all excited.
Why don't you set aside an hour or two? We'll have a few drinks and a cup of coffee I don't drink.
And now I'll make the point better. This joint's clever. In the lounge with Poindexter. So Poindexter Lounge, you know that we can get it in. And now I'm headed up like I'm Led Zeppelin.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me back in the lounge tonight. It's been a bit, it's been a couple of days, but it is always good to be back here in the lounge. So, hey, if this is your first time to the lounge, welcome. We are so glad to have you here, and just want you to know that we're always glad to have you here in the lounge. So if this is your first time, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my crew can get together and talk about the things that we love, things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get you excited, if those are things that get you playing with your King Shark action figure, then hey, you found the right place. And me and King Shark are just glad that you're here. All right. So hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of this growing group of nerds. All right. We are so glad to have you here. Hey, it's been a minute. So here's the deal. As you all know, my wife, Tiffany, the lovely Tiff-tastic, she had surgery this last week. And so nothing major, but she did. It was a serious thing. I mean, it wasn't serious, like life-threatening thing, but it was something that was really giving her some issues. She had to have a procedure done. I didn't even know you could do this. Apparently, you can hit your funny bone and it can mess up your nerve. It can actually put the nerve there, the cubicle, cubital nerve, I think. It could actually make it go under the bone and pinch it off. And so she was losing feeling in her fingers there, her pinky and her ring finger. She had been that way for about 4 months. So she needed to go get that taken care of, but everything went really, really well. And she's recovering. She's in a sling for right now. And it looks about 4 to 6 weeks, they said, but she's going to be off of work for a while. And so, but she's recovering. She's in the chat tonight. And so, thank you to everyone who sent some love and expressed, your prayers and, that you were thinking about her and everything. I know that I really appreciate that. And I know that she appreciates that as well. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out. You guys are fantastic. And, hey, that's what makes the Poindexter Lounge so great, is we actually care about each other. This is a great community. There's larger communities on YouTube and on social media, but you know what? I will tell you this. I am hard pressed to find another community that is as great as you guys. And you guys really just come together, and you're very supportive of me and my family. And I'm so thankful for that. And I know Tiffany is as well. So from the bottom of our hearts, from our nerd family to all of you, thank you. Thank you so much for the love and support that you guys have shown to us these last few days, because it means a lot. It really does. And there just comes a time where you just realize, like, we have some really good people here. And so again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That being said, kind of in that same vein, today I ran into this guy right here. Check this guy out. Ran into this guy right here wearing a Poindexter Lounge shirt. How cool is that, huh? How cool is that? And so, hey, I think that's pretty cool. And so thank you so much. It was it's good to see people out and about and wearing their Poindexter Lounge shirts. So, and you can get your Poindexter Lounge shirt right here at our Teespring. All the links are down below. And hey, you can get one of these with the Nerd Family. You can get all kinds of cool stuff. We've got all kinds of great and awesome Poindexter Lounge merchandise down there for you guys to pick up. Now, typically tonight on Sunday nights, me and Johnny are doing our 2 cents on nonsense show, which we even have a t-shirt for that. But Johnny couldn't do the show tonight, and so we had to kind of take a step back. But that's cool because we got a great panel of people, and we're actually going to get into because I can't wait a week to get into the thing that we were going to talk about for 2 cents on nonsense because it's just absolutely too ridiculous. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. But first of all, before we jump in with our panel, I do want to say a special shout out, as always, to all of our members. Thank you, all of our members. You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. Thank you for coming alongside of us and showing your support to us here at the lounge. We're so grateful for all of you. And then, of course, also our patrons. Thank you guys. I got Anthony Grigsby in there and Paul Smith finally here on this list. Thank you so much for being wonderful members of the Poindexter Lounge, of the Patreon, and also the membership. And look, you can join the membership. Membership has its privileges. Membership is a cool, fun thing. And so look, there's different levels, there's different things that you get, but you can join the membership for as little as $2. As little as $2, you can be a member and you get to use all the emoticons, you get to use all the cool stuff, and then you can join the Patreon for as little as $1. And trust me, it really, really does help, and every little bit helps. And we don't ever expect anybody to give us anything. Like, that's not what this channel is about. We're just grateful and blown away by your generosity. And so we try to give you a little something back if you do join the Patreon or the membership. And so there that is for you. And then, of course, everyone who gives a super chat. So listen, because I was off for a couple of days with Tiffany, we did not get a chance to give away this wonderful Nightwing action figure, and I haven't been able to put everybody's names in super chats and stuff because as you know, with all of our giveaways, if you're a member or you're a patron or you give a super chat at any time during that cycle, then you qualify for our giveaway. So I was going to give this away Friday, but because I was taking care of Tiffany and making sure she was all right, we weren't able to give this away, and I wasn't able to put it all into the system, all the names into the system. So we will give this away this week. All right. Probably on Wednesday, we'll give this away. So you guys still have time to get in on this right there. All right. That being said, I'm going to bring some great guys in. Ladies and gentlemen, you love him. I love him. He's always a great guest here. And he's not guest. He's family. All these guys are family. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel once again, Mr. Brian, Master and None. What's going on, Brian?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Just got off of work, so I'm ready to hang out, talk. Let's have some fun.
I'm ready to go. All right. Also, we've got Firewater in the house. What's up, buddy?
Bonus. What's going on?
Bonus. Always good to see the bonus in the chat and in here. What's going on, man? How are you doing, Firewater?
I'm doing well. It's been busy for me with work past couple of weeks. Things are starting to step on the gas a little bit, which is a good problem to have, but still a problem, so to speak. But no, doing good.
Heck yeah. Well, good to see you. And then you might know him as Black Ops, but tonight apparently we know him as Doomcock. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
We're doing well. Very well.
You see my music video?
Gonna regale us with some Sinatra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I only hopped on because I thought the stream needs saving, so
I'm
here to save the stream.
Oh, are you here to save the stream one stream at a time, huh? I see how it is. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I couldn't save the fandom, so moving on. I'm starting big.
Man, it feels like it's been forever since I've seen you guys. You know,
it's been a minute, but it's all right.
It's been a while. Yeah, like I said, I've been busy.
Yeah, same working.
I'm sure Brian's been doing his thing too, right?
Life's crazy.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, no, it just feels like it's been a while, just because usually I'm streaming like every night, man, and like I haven't streamed. I don't think I've been on a stream since Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Whenever I was on with Dawson last, so So, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But I miss you guys, man. You guys are my buds. So I miss you guys when I'm not streaming with you. So it's good to have you guys on tonight. And I'm just gonna say a quick just shout out hello to everybody in the chat. Good to see you. I see lots of great people in there. I see Mega Podtastic, which I'm trying. I've been trying for the last couple of weeks to get on Mega Podtastic's show, and so hopefully it'll be this Tuesday. The last 2 weeks I'm supposed to be on, it just hasn't worked out. So hopefully this Tuesday works out. What's up, Saggy? Good to see you in the chat here tonight. I'm not gonna go down with everybody, but just a couple people. What's up, baby girl? Good to see you in the chat. David, this is so nice of you. David says California bound soon for 3 weeks. Can't wait. I've missed you these past days, Enosh. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, David. Like I said, I've missed you guys. When streaming becomes your life, man, you're just busy doing this. It's you miss everybody. So what's up, Anchorman? Good to see you. What's up, William? Where's William? What's up, William? Says I saw Doomcock in lower left corner as soon as I came. Hey, man, if you get a chance, William, come on in here. What's up, John? Good to see you. What's up, Michelle? Good to see you. Lord Slug, good to see you. You do suck. Always good to see you. Mary Wilcox, always good to see you. So many great people. Music Man is in here. Sandra, what's going on? Says bye, going to bed. It's very late here in Italy. Okay, well, I hope you can watch the replay later. And what's up, Oki? Good. Is it Oki? We had this the other day. We finally figured it out on Dawson's. I think it's Oki. So good to see you, man. What's up, Ryan Hartwell? Always good to see you, my friend. Justin Proper is in there. What's up, Nick and Lex? Good to see you, Nick and Lex. Oh my goodness, we gotta hook up again, guys. We gotta hook up again. I actually was thinking about you guys the other day because I actually got to do a show this week, guys. I actually got to play a show this week. My band didn't get to play, but my band was supposed to play this festival. And but I ended up bringing on a couple other people, and we went and played a show. So it was
nice.
Did you play the metal?
We didn't really play a lot of metal. I don't know. Yeah.
Did you use heavily distorted guitars in a non-metal way?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
did.
I
love gain. I love gain.
Lots of gain.
You threw the gain on.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, actually, it was kind of cool. I pulled out some old songs that I hadn't played in a long time because it was kind of like a solo show, but with some friends. And so it was kind of cool. So I pulled out some old songs, some pretty rockin' tunes.
Which song did you put the most gain on?
Oh man, well, you know what? Like I'm a pretty like heavy gain kind of guy. So
I love overly distorted guitars for like pop punk because I'm a big pop punk fan.
Oh, there you go.
I want like metal guitars in the background doing like happy rhythms and stuff.
Oh,
like
heck
that.
Yeah, man! Heck yeah, man! Heck yeah! Yeah. So we had some fun. We had some fun rocking it out this weekend, and yeah, man, just trying to stay busy, man. And things are kind of getting back to normal. So all across the world, trying. So hopefully it keeps on that path, and yeah. So we want to say a quick shout out to Jeff Blattfelty. What's up, Jeff? With a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says so glad you're back. Prayers for Tiff for a speedy recovery. Thank you so much. Well, guys, we're gonna get started, but hey, I got to show you something, Brian. That I picked up today. I picked this up today. I got a couple of toys today. I stopped at the toy store, my local toy store. There and Back Again Toys, and I had to pick this up, man. First of all, I picked up an old Dr. McCoy action figure, one of the little Mego ones from the motion picture to go along, because I got Spock and Kirk and like all those. But
nice,
dude, I had to pick this up. Check it out.
Oh, heck yeah!
It's Khan! Khan!
That was his real chest, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that.
Ricardo Montalban was yoked. Just saying.
Yes, he was. And it was only $3.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's $3, man. It's like, and it's Khan. Now I feel like I got to put him on PLW, man, and like him versus Kirk.
Oh man.
Speaking of the metal Firewater, check this guy out right here.
Yo, that's dope.
Is that not the dopest thing? He comes with a guitar that has like a sickle on it, man. It's got like a blade.
Don't take more metal than that, man.
I'm telling you, man. Batman with spikes and oh my gosh,
high gain right there. Look at him.
Oh, look at that amp. Look at that amp, man.
Look at
The
that
amp
double
is taller
stack.
than him. Oh my
And he's
gosh.
saying, "You can't kill the metal. The metal will live on.
The metal will live on." And
Punk
you know,
rock
and this
tried
guy,
to
this
defeat
one
the
doesn't have this one doesn't have a guitar, but he looks very Danzig-ish.
But they
That's
failed
metal.
as they were
Isn't that
thrown
metal?
to the ground.
Like I want to be
Yeah.
in this band. I want to be in this
Yeah, there
band.
you
I'm just
go.
saying. I just want to be in that band. And,
They got the
then-
hit Master Exploder.
Exactly. And then this is my drummer right there.
Oh yes.
That's
There you
your
go.
drummer right there.
And
Got
you just
little,
need like a KG
Gorilla
action
Garage.
figure, dude. You're all set. Oh, Tenacious D action.
Ooh, Tenacious D. There's some good stuff. And then check this out, guys. I got this sucker.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of this deal that I got here on this because this puppy, first of all, in the stores at Target, it's like $30, right? And and my resale guy, he's had it for like 40, right? And so but it's always been on this thing. Our resale guy has a thing where it's like if you get he's got like a punch card, and if you fill that up, you get $20 off, right? But he's got like a restricted section, and so I've wanted this for a while, but it's been in the restricted section, so I can't use my punch card on it. Well, I went in there today. He had 2 of these. They were no longer in the restricted area. And one of them, though, was all busted up, and it had a $40 price tag on it. This one had a $35 tag on it, but I could use my $20 on it. So I got it for 15. Heck yeah. The heck yeah, man. I've been waiting for this forever. Tiffany keeps asking me, do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? I'm like, well, I want it, but I just didn't want to spend $30-$40 on it. You know, it's just like one of those things. And so
That does sound steep.
Patience, my friends, patience. $15. Gotta love
Dude,
It's a bonus.
okay, so now you got to wait for William to come on and open them slowly.
just tearing them apart. Just tearing them
please.
apart. Tearing them apart. So,
Do it.
guys, so there's a couple of things that we were going to talk about tonight, but I gotta say, first of all, one of the first things I wanted to talk about a little bit was before we jump into the fun stuff was Ned Beatty passed away.
Yeah.
And that's a bummer, man. Ned Beatty, what a great actor, and he was in Superman 2, and I mean that's where I was first exposed to Ned Beatty. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have a favorite. I mean, he's one of those actors now that, I mean, it's kind of, he's been kind of getting up there. So not like a lot of people don't know who Ned Beatty is anymore. But I don't know. I mean, how do you guys feel? It's sad now that I feel like I'm getting to that age where it's like more and more people that I grew up with are passing away.
Yeah.
You know?
I loved him in Back to School as Dean Martin. That's a classic film.
Well, he'll always be Otis to me.
Heck yeah. He'll always be Otis, man. Otis.
He was in Rudy.
Mr. Luthor.
I just like his theme song. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, yes, you captured the bumbling sidekick. Just Otisburg. Well, you gave Mrs. Tessmacher.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, it's better remembering that than what he did in Deliverance. So,
yeah, for sure. Yes, Justin, I will create a new Gwar lineup with my new action figures. Yes. But so roided soups, I love it. lots of fun stuff with my toys. But yeah, so just one of those things. I didn't want to dwell on it too much tonight, but yeah, just one of those things that
Just remember him as Otis, and that's all you got to leave it at. He was one of the best. I mean, that's one of my favorite parts of the original Superman movie. Just Otis.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just kind of wanted to just throw that out there. Another fun thing that happened this weekend is Matt Jarbo's not here, and but he could talk about it. He reached out to the Fandom Menace seems to keep taking one hit right after another. This last
week. They're gonna
and
have to hug the boxer like Floyd Mayweather does when he starts getting punched. You gotta tie him up, baby, because they need to stem the bleeding. They're hemorrhaging right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. It's like I'm eating at McDonald's every day, but I'm just getting fat off of the downfall of the Fandom Menace. And look, that's not to put that down. There's people in the Fandom Menace that I feel they're not bad people, but like the idea of the Fandom Menace just being so angry all the time, like that's really where I come at with that. But the thing is Matt Jarbo, he actually reached out to Kevin Smith this week about the He-Man Masters of the Universe show, right? Because all these Fandom Menacers and like all the people in that group have been like, oh, it's gonna suck. It's all gonna be about Tila. It's all gonna be woke and all this stuff. And basically, Kevin Smith kind of squashed that rumor. So I dig that. It's been a couple of days of people kind of squashing rumors.
I think maybe mainstream Hollywood is getting kind of tired of it. They see their work getting trashed. It's not even out yet. I know Kevin Smith was big on. I remember Clerks 2. There was a thing. I can't remember the reviewer's name, but I remember seeing an interview with him, and the guy reviewed his film, but he walked out during the let's say the show. Let's say the show scene. Brian knows what I'm talking about. He walked out of the movie. He was disgusted. He walked out of the movie. And Kevin Smith said that's effectively BS. If you're going to review the movie, watch the entire movie. You want to trash me in the press? Fine. If you didn't like it, fine. I can't control that. But your review is not valid unless you saw it. So I kind of see that kind of bleed. That was like 17 years ago or something like that, or 15 years ago, whatever it was. And I could see that same attitude. And then well, the gentleman passed away who reviewed it, and the guy, it's like, Kevin Smith, do you feel bad about him trying? I was like, no, that doesn't make him right because he died. Like, he just kind of dunked on him. I was like, but I feel like those vibes are coming out now. Like the show's not. Is it a movie or is it a series or a show? What is it?
It's a series. It's a series. So it's a show, and the thing is that they released pictures of it that basically everybody kind of jumped on right away, and they were like, yeah, but there's like, I think it was who was it? I can't remember who it was that kept talking about that it was going to be woke, that it was all going to be about Tila, right? Like, so if you watch the original show at all, they said that it was all going to be about Tila and how woke it was going to be, and He-Man wasn't even going to be a part of it, that it was going to be this big bait and switch thing, that it wasn't even going to be about He-Man, and it was going to be all about the women, the strong, woman thing, and basically that all just got debunked, and I'm happy for that.
Wait, did I hear woke? Did I hear rumors?
Yep. Ryan Hartwell with a $2 super chat says, "Are you looking forward to He-Man?" Absolutely, I'm looking forward to He-Man, dude. I am so looking forward to He-Man because it looks absolutely amazing. Like, Kevin Smith has, like, I don't know, have you guys seen the trailer for it?
The trailer looks amazing.
Yeah, the trailer looks freaking amazing. Here,
it looks like they're not playing games. It's not a kid's show. I'll tell you that much. It's
no.
I mean, it's not Invincible, but like, it's pretty cool. I thought it was great. When's it come out? When's it come out? Oh, next month. That's right.
I gotta follow the. I gotta follow.
Yo,
this
Men
shit.
at Arms just messed that guy, dude.
How am I not following Kevin Smith? I don't know how I'm not.
And it's
following
on
Smith.
Netflix. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, man. But yeah, so,
I'm already paid up for Netflix, so we're good, baby.
Look at that.
I've just been binge watching this show called Arrow. I don't know.
Now, I will say this. I did think that the choice of I Need a Hero was a little bit of a weird song choice for it. But other than that, I thought this trailer was absolutely just fire.
Yeah, this trailer is just dope, man. Like 9.5 out of 10. I'm looking forward to it. He-Man's not playing games.
But like they tried to come back. Yeah, man, but they tried to come back and say like, well, no, this is all a bait and switch. Kevin Smith is actually, filling it full of, just wokeness, and it's all going to be about Tila and the women and everything. And it's like, I don't know, man. But Kevin Smith just came back and actually answered Matt Jarbo and said, nope, I can't tell you everything. I can't give it away. He couldn't even get into the synopsis for the second episode because he said it gives away the first episode. So they don't want to give away, all of that. But I did dig this though. And that is, they did give a, see, here's, people talking about, Clownfish was this is cool. It says, this looks amazing, but wait, I'm confused. Clownfish claimed that this was a Tila show and even just recently said it was, and I quote here, exactly what they said it would be. How is that the case, though, given all this footage with He-Man in it? So, I hear Kevin Smith says, as showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we lock the scripts. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Tila has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal.
Oh, it's going to have Gain!
Oh, it's going to be so full of gain. That's the next one, man. It's a bonus. Turn the gain up. We're going full metal. Going full metal with it. So this is it. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe.
Because it goes to 11.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. But yeah, Clownfish TV. Like, you know what? Yeah, they're a bunch of clownfish over there. My understanding.
What's with these Fandom Menace channels that like self-own themselves? Like Mary Mayhem, she brings mayhem everywhere she goes. Yeah, that's predictable. Clownfish. I mean, come on, that shit. Right? Oh, that stuff writes it. I'm sorry, that stuff writes itself. Like, come on. Like,
you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
I just don't get it, man.
I think people are tired of hating stuff on the on YouTube and the internet in general.
I love the Hollywood people pushing back on it.
Yeah,
and they love the attention, but like not all PR is good PR. We could see that with Zack Snyder and Geeks and Gamers. That did not work out very well. And then Ryan Kittle can't catch a break.
Oh my gosh! So that's the next thing I want to talk about. Yeah. Oh my gosh! So I wanted to find that there was there's a list here. Oh my gosh, where is the list? There's a list here that talks that he put in here, like what each one was inspired by. Here it is right here. So here's the first few episodes. And what movies inspired them. So it says, Kevin said, in honor of the era in which Master of the Universe began, each of the 5 episodes in part 1 of our series homages a different 80s flick. So episode 1 does an homage to Superman 2, which is awesome. Episode 2 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Episode 3 is 89 Batman. Episode 4 is Hellraiser. And episode 5 is Masters of the Universe. Nice. So
if we get Gwildor, that's gonna be kick ass.
Gwildor. But yeah, just like suck it, Fandom Menace. Sorry, but not sorry. That you know what? Not sorry for you at all. Because
what's that comment he's making about woke?
What's that?
I'm sorry. No. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but no, I'm not. I don't feel sorry for all these clowns, and that's exactly what they are. It's a bunch of clowns that just put all this negativity out there based on nothing, absolutely nothing, and they claim, well, we heard this and heard that. Well, you know what? Maybe what you do is you wait to see if it comes out, or maybe you ask the question first before you start reporting stuff. Doomcock.
But it's a rumor zone. It's okay.
Yeah, but you gotta let the outrage, the thing you're gonna be outraged about, you gotta let it ripen a little bit. They picked the fruit too early. You know what I'm saying? It's not right.
That's what we like.
They even admit yeah, that's true. But they even admit that the trailer looks good. What's the problem?
Well, look, Justin even here says it's like a pendulum. It swings one way and now it's swinging the other way. Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And the thing is that I really feel like, look, if there are legitimate things that you can come at with some of this stuff and say, okay, you know what? I don't like this, or I don't care for this. And you have those conversations, right? And you have normal conversations. But when you're just like looking for something and trying to pick something apart, like right off the bat and saying that it's going to suck or it's going to be one way or whatever, like you can say all of the take it with a grain of salt that you want, but it doesn't make it right. It's you're going to look like a fool. And speaking of looking like a fool, you brought it up, Firewater, and we got to talk about it. Mr. Ryan Kinnell, like you said, does not seem to be able to catch a break.
Great guy.
Doomcock, do you like the guy?
Did you make up with him? You actually believed his apology?
We've been talking on the side. I don't know. We're working on our relationship right now. We're seeking a counselor.
Salt of the earth. Good guy.
You guys are going to need a lot of counseling after what just happened.
Yeah. We're we signed up for a 12-month plan. I think we might need
12 month plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I would feel bad kicking a mother down like this, but it's like that's what they did. That's what they did in the first place. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, never mind. I'll just
and you gotta love the fact
let it ride out.
You gotta love the fact too that like they will talk all this trash, right, about Lucasfilm, about everybody, absolutely make up crap about them, make up junk, left and right. But the second that they actually clap back and say something, notice all these things. It's like, oh, Indiana Jones 5 director James Mangold just had a legendary snowflake of a meltdown on Twitter because someone had an opinion. No, they're sick of listening to you. Like,
because it's the same thing. It's like they just keep going on about this, that, and other thing. It's like, dude, honestly, at this point, the adult thing to do is don't watch it. Seeing as you cannot act like adults, you're getting clapped back. Yeah.
And you know what? And they deserve the clap back because this is just stupid, Here, Ryan said the director of Indiana Jones film searching a hashtag and fighting with any fans who say something critical just tells me how insecure you are about this movie. To be honest, sad. Well, here's the question. What do you have to be critical of this movie?
Also, why is it only like stupid YouTubers can have opinions on Twitter, and as soon as somebody who's in charge of something of the film, it says something, and it's like, like people clap at Freddie Prinze Jr. And it's like he says stuff back. He's not taking your crap, and then the people get all excited.
Check this. So I'm going to leave Ryan Kinnell here on red. I'm not going to follow him, but I am going to follow James Mangold.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I started following him too. I think he's great.
But I love it. Look, I love the fact that he actually answered Ryan Kinnell. And it's just like, so let me get this right, Ryan. You can spurg about me, but I am supposed to stay silent while you do it and bait clicks because Lucasfilm and not random timelines, the same timeline of the dude spurging about my film. Yeah. And lots of great comments in here.
Oh, I was on the screen there for a second. I'm famous now.
Oh, were you on here?
Yeah. Go scroll up.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Look at there, the dude. You go ahead and read it, sir. It's your
dude isn't a customer though. If he is spurging out though, no. When the spirit constantly says you're, I'm going to stop that. It's hurting my voice. When the spirit constantly says your company is trash, is it safe to say that the individual is a non-customer? I mean, it's kind of Karen-like behavior, no?
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
gonna
at
like
what
that.
point is it
I
a
dig
non? Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna retweet that.
Look at you,
Heck yeah!
man.
Look at and look there.
I'm on
I
the
am
board
following.
bonus. All
Check it
right,
out.
all
I am following Firewater already over here. Check it
right.
out.
I follow you
Yeah.
back. Look at that, baby.
Heck yeah! Oh, we're just in a
This is
big
so
old love
exciting
fest
for
over
me.
here.
You have
Hey,
no idea.
can I get some of that love though?
No Doomcock. Sorry. No.
I'm surprised Doomcock hasn't blocked me. Oof.
Right now. Okay. So here was
I'm doing that
here
right
was-
now.
Here was this original thing that kind of like started blowing up that I saw anyways. This guy Matthew Kadish says to anyone thinking hashtag Indiana Jones 5 might be good, let me just point out, number one, Steven Spielberg is not directing.
Oof.
Okay. So only Steven Spielberg can direct Indiana Jones movies. We all know this, right? I mean, he did the last one that everybody was pissed off about. So apparently, I don't know. Number two, Kathleen Kennedy is producing, as she has every Indiana Jones movie.
I was unaware of that.
Were you unaware of that?
I know she produced a crap load of films. I did not know she did all of the Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I did not know
yes.
I was
Her and
unaware.
Frank Marshall did the first one exclusively.
I'm sure you do, Justin. I'm sure you do.
But how do you have criticisms
I
for
do
a
too.
movie that
I have
ain't
a
even
lot of
out yet,
criticisms.
man? Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't know how you have criticisms of a movie that like literally all we've seen so far is pictures. I mean, I guess maybe the criticisms are that there's pictures of Indiana Jones standing next to Kathleen Kennedy on set. You know what I mean? She's supposed to be fired. She's supposed to be fired. What is she doing on the set? Somebody get her away from the talent. Can we get that woman away from the talent, please?
Exactly.
Shia LaBeouf isn't coming back because he's in movie jail.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's dead now. No, I know.
Sean Connery didn't want to come back because he retired. Like they didn't just like write him out. He didn't come back for the last one because he retired.
Shia LaBeouf is a liability to sign.
Oh,
because of his offset behavior. Let's just leave it at that. So
Kathleen Kennedy is worse.
Maybe she is.
But
Maybe
okay,
she's-
so
hits the
I love
crossover.
I love that this so those are the first two reasons why it can't be any good, because Steven Spielberg is not directing. 2, Kathleen Kennedy is producing. 3, Harrison Ford is 78 years old, and we all know that 78-year-old people are no longer useful whatsoever and cannot play any.
That's not true. My dad gets a good pension.
Oh,
So that's why my mom hasn't killed him yet. It's worth more than the life insurance.
Oh,
Keep that gravy train going, baby.
Yeah.
oh,
Coming
ouch.
up around the bend.
No, I'm kidding. My parents are still married. They get along great. Well, mostly great.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Well, they're coming over for Father's Day. They better get along. Otherwise, my wife will throw them out.
And then I love it. Number 4 is it's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who wrote Solo. So can we first say that like it's interesting to me because first of all, even if this is true, Solo is getting a lot of love these days, and actually people are starting to report that like there's the rumors keep popping up that they're going to continue the Solo universe in some way, right? So
They better.
hey Justin, we're gonna get to this in just a minute, man. And then you know what? I promise you, like I told him, like I told Justin. Well, I didn't tell him, but he asked if he could join, and so we're gonna stay at our piece. And then you know what? I'm gonna let Justin have some words. But here's the interesting thing about this is Solo is actually getting a lot of love these days because people are actually seeing Solo. And I've told people, like, every week I get a handful of people who message me or whatever, and they're like, wow, I didn't see Solo when it came out because this, that, whatever. It's not a bad movie. There's things in there that are interesting, but it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's not a movie that anybody asked for. I get it. I didn't ask for a Han Solo origin film either. But, and there's some, weird things. Like, I didn't necessarily have to see how he got his DL-44 blaster, his Blast Tech blaster. I didn't need to see that. But you know what? It's not going to kill me either to see that. But I love the fact James Mangold answers this guy and just says, thanks, Matt. Number 1, Keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement.
Bonus.
The king of bonuses there. I gotta say, speaking of bonuses, what's up, H Barts with a $5 super chat? What's going on, man? It says, Enosh, you're alive. I thought Kermit got you. It's been a while. I know, bro. I know, man. Yeah, I had to take a couple days off, make sure my wife was all set and taken care of after her surgery. But yes, we are back and back in full effect, doing our thing, man. And so thank you, H Barts. I appreciate you, bro. You are you're always a blessing and a good guy to see here in the chat. So I'll give you one of these. I'll give you a Matt Jarbo. Oops.
I get a lot of takes wrong. Jarbo Damas.
I thought he was here for a second. I was like, well, huh?
That's funny.
Hey, Matt, what's up?
You clipped them good there.
I know. You know what? I said that, and I don't know if I should have said it that way. It's like it kind of sounds like something dirty. So I'll give you a Matt Jarbo. I don't know if I want to know what the Matt Jarbo.
Well, it's better than you guys can play with your King Shark. I'm like, this is YouTube, buddy.
True that.
No, I'm kidding.
The double entendres are real.
Exactly. Yes, Andy. I love Andy R here. What's up? Andy says, okay, now James Mangold is my fave person in the world, right? Matt says, don't worry, dude. I'll be alive in about an hour. I got you covered.
Right on.
Was he being resurrected?
I don't know.
I'll be alive in an hour. I'm dead right now. Don't worry, I'm coming back.
Well, yeah. Well, I know, right?
I'm just sometimes
drive-thrus can be pretty nuts, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know that's true. Yeah.
Black Angus brings up a great point, though. Here, okay, so first of all, Solo brought us one of the most amazing endings to a Star Wars movie ever. Look how they kept that silent, and because I walked into that movie not knowing that Darth Maul was going to show up at the end. And I'm sorry, but that was fantastic. The fact that they brought him back into live action again, just absolutely amazing.
I do like me some Darth Maul.
I love it. But I love it. Mangold just goes right back at him, says, hey, thanks for keeping the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement. Number 2, never seen a script by John. Oh, but wait, up there, number 4, the point was it's written by Jonathan Kasdan. But here's Mangold, James Mangold, who's directing the movie, says, I've never seen a script by John. Nothing against him, just reality. Buttersworth and I started from a blank page. Huh. Right? Oh, you mean somebody just talking who doesn't know anything about the movie and is just making stuff up from their house, from their studio, whatever their house. I love the fact that he showed his little area out that he was broadcasting from, this Matthew guy. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Script isn't even by John Kasdan. Good one. Yeah, way to go. I love this. Anthony here says H Bart's credit card bill. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Rip.
Oh my god. So this is interesting. Yes, Kasdan has no writing credit on the film. So okay. And then number 3 says
Doomcock was wrong.
He says 1 through 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. So you're going to say Steven Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, and Harrison Ford are all there at his side working on this thing together. Poor guys. And this is Ryan Kennel has to say about that. The director of Indiana Jones 5 taking time to search the hashtag to crap on people and literally spurg out about Donald Trump on random timelines. LOL, Lucasfilm is an effing disaster. Are they?
It is.
Or do they know things that you don't know, Ryan? Sounds to me like they know a bunch of stuff you don't know. And that's what your butt hurt about.
Sounds like a YouTuber going out of his way to crap on a hashtag.
Yeah, it's just, but I just love it. It kept just going back and forth. And Mangold didn't stop, man.
Good for him, dude.
He kept
Right
bringing
on.
it, man.
He kept on the gas. Let him step on the gas. Sure. I think it's great. As the best monetized outrage YouTuber, The Quartering says, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Push back on these people that don't know what they're talking about.
Heck yeah.
Push back on them. Absolutely. Push back on them every chance that you have an opportunity to, that presents itself, a legitimate opportunity. Don't just go after people for the sake of doing it. But
well, you know right now they got nothing better to do, because since Ryan Kinnell and Doomcock went at each other last week, right? Now everything is crisis mode, right? You know, like,
they need a big distraction from Ryan's tactical apology. He didn't actually really apologize.
Yeah.
So okay, so this is his apology. It's like, Doomcock, I still think you're full of crap, but your fans though aren't stupid for believing in your full of crap stuff. You can't have one without the other. But again, we're not really dealing with the.
Look, I've watched several videos now at this point, because I spent this week before Tiffany's surgery staining. Tiffany actually did some really cool stuff. She built some patio furniture out of like old pallets. You know, we got her a bunch of pallets, and she built this really awesome furniture out of it. So, but we had to stain it all. So I'm sitting outside and I'm having to stain this whole thing, and so like this was during that whole time that all this stuff was going down. So like I watched a bunch of streams, like, and I was agreeing with people I never thought that I'd ever agree with. Okay. Like I was agreeing with Ryan Kinnell on some stuff about Doomcock. I was agreeing. I watched the Mr. H stream, where if you haven't seen that, that's like a couple hours long. And of course, you know, Andy Signor shows up on that, and I don't know why. But you know, he had to have his 2 cents in there about it. But I thought it was hilarious because they all kept calling it what we've been calling it. They all kept using the word nonsense. And Johnny and I have been saying that for how long now? That like all this junk, all this stuff that Doomcock says is nonsense. Everybody comes at me every week and they're like, you guys are just jealous because they are, and you know that Lucasfilm sucks. Well, okay, so but you guys all support Ryan Kinnell and Geeks and Gamers and the rest of the Fandom Menace. I'm sorry, they're not Fandom Menace anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, let me back off of that. Like, literally, the Fandom Menace is losing members by like the day, right? Like all of its leaders are walking away. Nobody wants to be associated anymore with the Fandom Menace. Nobody wants to use that word anymore. Fandom Menace has become a bad word now because it's associated with such ridiculousness. And yet, you got everybody saying it now. And then what's the one girl? I can never remember her name. The short-haired girl.
Jesse Milestone.
Jesse Milestone. Yeah, I've honestly never watched a Jesse Milestone video in my life. But she was on that stream going on, you know, about how Doomcock doesn't like her and has actually stolen her theories about Star Wars stuff and reported them as truth and called Doomcock a liar.
Oh, that's
I love it.
Bottom line.
Oh, I love it.
That was an expensive mistake.
I love it. I love the fact that, and let's see. I think I have. Do I have the clip here? Because I will have this clip forever as soon as I can find it again. But I love this clip of. Where is it? I had the clip. I'll have to find it in a second, but the clip of Jeremy going on and on about how, like, you know, if here it is. I got it right here. It's one of the most amazing clips I've ever seen in my life, because how we've all, you guys have seen like the car video thing with Jeremy, right? And Doomcock when they were together in Jeremy's car, and they did the car video together, and they're all best buddies, and and Doomcock has been there, and like they've always supported Doomcock and stuff. And this is what it's come to, folks. Oh, why isn't it playing? Why? Oh, come on. Why isn't
I'm hacking you?
You're hacking me. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hacking me?
From my secret layer.
Okay, well, you know what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, every time I look at Doomcock's picture down here, I'm wondering if I should have left him a tip for helping me out of the elevator.
You should have.
Yeah, he had
Thank you for my bags.
I'm hurt.
Or is it part of the marching band? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
When I
never
was
know.
a young boy, my father took me. No, you know what? You know what? That's an insult to that song because I actually dig that song. The
I
Black
like that
Parade.
song. It's a good song.
It's an insult to the Black Parade to actually put Doomcock with that. No, as soon as this loads, I want to share with you what is now going to be my favorite Jeremy Griggs video. Here it is, right here, folks. This is what it's come to.
If you believe Doomcock's rumors, that's great. I don't. If you think that Lucasfilm is heading in the right direction, that's great. I don't. If you think that George Lucas has a George Lucas cut of The Rise of Skywalker, that's great. I don't. If you think that George Lucas is coming back to take over Star Wars at his age, that's great. I don't. If you think that Kathleen Kennedy is getting fired for the 450th time, that's great. I don't. So I don't.
Beautiful.
That's just makes me so happy. It brings me such joy to hear Jeremy just going off on Doomcock saying, oh, if you believe that crap, that's fine, but I don't. And look, I don't approve of the words necessarily that Ryan Kinnell used about people, right? But look, the reality is if you hang on every word that Doomcock says, if you're out there, and I know you are because you message me and you leave comments and you try to act like you're saying something, and I literally went back. I had a back and forth with a guy in one of my comment sections this week, guys, with somebody who went on about how they didn't care if it was lies. They honestly did not care if it was lies against Disney. If Doomcock was telling complete untruths, as long as it brought Disney down, as long as it destroyed it. That's all they cared about. It does not matter if it was truth or false. Didn't matter. And I'm like, well, then that speaks a lot about you, because if you don't have truth, well, and then the guy just kept going on about how, you know, like, well, they've done this and they've said these horrible things about fans and all stuff. And I'm like, well, show me actual stuff, not your Fandom Menace buddies, not all these other people posting stuff. Show me actual stuff where the studio attacks people, because the studio, like Firewater said earlier, like apparently, you know, they can't have an opinion about anything. Nobody who works for the studio can have an opinion about anything. It's just simply this. Well, look, here's the thing. This is what I was going to do for 2 cents on nonsense. I can't wait a week, but I will say this: Mark Uno may have an answer to the video that I'm going to show you here in just a second. I have not talked with Mark yet, but Mark is feeling a little like left behind. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been taking care of my wife for the last couple of days. Yes, Mega Podtastic. I did see Junkman's phone. He did like it made it look like it was a phone call with Jeremy using that video, you know, and it was great. But
hey, Enosh, before you get into that, but I actually have to dip out.
All right, man.
But thank you for having me. Thanks for everyone.
Always great to have you, Firewater. Always great to have you.
Guys, have a great evening. Okay,
all right, buddy. All right, man. We'll see you later. Okay, so, but here's the thing. All this stuff went down last week, guys. All this stuff happened last week, right? All these people at each other's throat, you know, Doomcock like couldn't shut his mouth on Twitter for 1 second, like had to keep, you know, they kept going back, attacking each other and everything. And so everybody was wondering, Brian, what is the answer going to be? What is Doomcock's next video going to be like? Right? I mean, it's got to be something good, right? I mean, like are they going to be able to make amends, whatever? Doomcock wrote a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I use that term loosely because I'm a songwriter and I'm a musician, and I have been for, you know, most of my life. And I'm sorry, but this has got to be one of the worst things I have ever seen in my life.
I'm scared.
You take that back.
Look, listen, I've watched some of Doomcock's live streams where he sings, and there's, look, as far as show tunes and stuff like that, he's got that crooner thing. I don't think he does it as great as everybody wants to say that he does it, but he's got the crooner thing. I'm not saying that he's got a horrible voice.
Just
yeah, because I'll be nice about it, right? But H Barts with the $5 super chat. Thank you. H Barts says Matt Jarbo, Jat Marbo, Cat Larbo, Rat Barbo, Zat Harbo, the multiverse of Jarbos.
Oh, it's a lot of Jarbos.
That's a lot of Arbos. But here's the thing though. No, Justin, I know that you wanted to talk about the Indiana Jones thing, and we're going to get to the thing because I know Brian was just talking about this last week with the whole controversy over like what Indiana Jones may have done in the past with Marion. So we're going to get that next. But first, we're gonna take a look at this song. So if you want to come in after this, Justin, when we start talking about that, that's fine. I know that you're associated and close to that situation. I don't want to get you in trouble with anybody. I don't want there to be a 5-hour live stream about Justin and how they're kicking you out as well, buddy. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but let's be honest. I mean, they are losing numbers. So, Doomcock's answer to all this was to try to tug at your heartstrings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He tugged at something. I wouldn't say it was my heartstrings. I feel like he grabbed a couple of butt hairs
and start singing real hard. A little bit of blue sky smiling at me.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great song.
So I told Johnny, because Johnny sent this to me first of all, and I didn't see that Johnny sent it to me, and I watched it myself, and I was like, what the heck did I just watch? Like seriously. So guys, I want to share this with you. This will be your pseudo 2 cents on nonsense. Unfortunately, my good buddy Johnny can't join us. But Johnny, if you're home and you want to jump in, man, message me and I'll still give you. I know it's a little late, but I know you might be home. He said he was getting home really late tonight, but because I'd still love to have you in. But I can't wait a week to talk about this because this is just absolutely. Oh my gosh!
This is 2 cents gold right here, guys.
This is like one of those things. This is like a once in a lifetime. You wait for something like this and it happens. And so I submitted for your approval. Here you go. Whoops. Oh, sorry.
What a handsome guy.
I'm going to take off my greetings. For today's video, I'm going to take off my helmet and do something different for you. Those who know me will find this surprising, as I always wear my helmet on videos to keep my head from exploding with rage for what is being done to pop culture. But in a moment, I think you'll understand. For those of you...
Well, that also, and he doesn't want to reveal his identity for all of his, white supremacist crap. So there you go.
Yeah,
probably wants to keep it.
Who don't know, my name is Dictor Van Doomcock. I am a super villain. I have a hidden base at the center of the earth.
First of all, I think it's really interesting that like his whole shtick is that he's a super villain. Remember that, folks. He's a super villain. This is it's shoddy storytelling. He always talks about shoddy storytelling, right? With pop culture. This is shoddy storytelling to say that you're a villain and somehow you're saving the world. Sure. Some of the worst dictators think that they're doing good too, don't they?
Yes.
An imprisoned eldritch god named Harvey Cthulhu, who I may release one day to destroy the world.
Hello.
And my mission is to conquer the world and to save pop culture. Lately, fate has taken an odd turn.
My brain.
As I have grown more hopeful about the future of Star Wars,
others
have hardened their hearts towards Star Wars.
What?
I've been reporting rumors about what is happening in this film.
Hold on. He's hopeful, Brian?
I think I heard him say that.
Brian, how many episodes of 2 Cents on Nonsense have we done? Like, have you ever seen the guy hopeful about Star Wars?
No, I've literally heard this man say it was dead, like when The Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, and not only that, but I was on a roundtable chat in his Discord, and one of the questions was, "What do you think is Star Wars dead?" Or is Star Trek dead? Because it was at the same time.
Yeah.
And my response was, no. I think there's a lot of stuff to look forward to in Star Wars. There's quite a bit of stuff to look forward to in Star Wars, and still is. I mean, wow.
But he's turning it around on us, man. He's turning it around on us. Now he's been hopeful this whole time. I didn't realize this. I did not realize that he was being hopeful.
I can't take this face turn. It's starting to hurt.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it made me ironically more hopeful than ever that Star Wars has a future.
What?
But this has angered others who believe that all hope is gone.
Angered others. He literally tells them to stay angry.
I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
When there's nothing to be angry about.
As bizarre as it sounds, of being a Pollyanna, of being too hopeful. But this is a false accusation.
Dude, I'm sorry, Brian. Last week I thought that I woke up in a weird world where I was agreeing with Ryan Kinnell and Jeremy Griggs and like Geeks and Gamers and all these people, like even Andy Signor. I agreed with Andy Signor about what he said about Doomcock. Now, what world did I just wake up in that Doomcock is telling me that he has been accused of being too hopeful and too positive when it comes to Star Wars? What?
Those two words have never been uttered in a single sentence.
History's in the making here.
I have no idea what just happened. I mean, maybe he's been watching our videos and we're starting to turn him around a little bit.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I have to go.
Maybe
get
he's
some
been watching
ibuprofen. This too much stuff inserted in my brain. He's changed and it hurts my brain. I'm too surprised.
I feel like DL after watching Army of the Dead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you do suck. Once you hear this song, if you haven't heard this song yet, you want to talk about 1960, you're about to hear some Peter, Paul, and Mary stuff, but not even the good stuff. It ain't even as good as Puff the Magic Dragon, because at least you could take a puff of something and at least enjoy that. This, I'm going to show you exactly how he made this thing. And it's sad. It is very, very sad.
GarageBand?
Yeah, it's GarageBand, but okay, I want to point something out, and I'll just give you a little taste. Everybody knows the thing that I did, the Snyder Cut thing. I recorded that in GarageBand. Okay, I used some different things, but I was creative with it and actually like programmed some stuff in GarageBand. So I'm not telling somebody that if they use GarageBand or anything else that like you can't produce something good. But wait till I show you. Well, first, before we do that, I do want to bring in what's up, Crazy Joe. Whoops, you're blocked there. There we go. What's up, Crazy Joe? Welcome to the lounge, man. This is your first time on the Poindexter Lounge. This is Mega Podtastic. What's going on, sir?
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, man.
I think I got you on the TV behind me.
There you go. See it looking good, looking good. All right. So yeah, you joined just in time because Doomcock is telling us about how he's way too positive. People are just, they're taken in by his positivity.
I'm quite aware.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I do got to say, I hate to give Doom Clown any credit whatsoever, but he did actually recently, about a week ago, do a video about how positive he is about the future of Star Wars. So he did make that claim. So
finally, okay, I must have missed that one. It was probably buried in like his hundreds of Star Wars is, crumbling to the ground and going to absolutely be destroyed. I must have missed that one. So. All right.
That Star Wars
I'll take your word for it.
by a thin thread over an abyss. I don't know if Star Wars can be saved. And at times I still mourn for that galaxy far, far away that has been so horribly abused.
Oh, dear God. A little melodramatic there, aren't we? Yeah, Star Wars is the redheaded stepchild of franchises now and is just being bent over and spanked on its little rear end.
So he doesn't admit any culpability to abusing Star Wars himself?
No. Oh, well, no.
No, you can't.
No, heck no. H Barts with a $2 super chat. Thank you, H Barts. Says Enosh versus Doomcock Dawn of Dance Off. Let's see. What can I I'm trying to see what I have here to be able to give you for that one. I don't know what I can give you in that one.
Dancing.
Give him a bonus.
He's a dance machine.
Well, you know what? This one hurts a little bit. So there you go.
This is how I felt after watching this video.
Yeah. Well, it gets worse. Trust me. We're just scratching the surface.
And so, as a gift to all those pessimists out there, and for the sake of my own sorrow and mourning,
this is a gift.
Over the terrible things that have been done to Star Wars, I've written a song about it. I'm going to sing it for you now, and here it is.
Okay, so before we get started, hold on a second. I gotta pull up. I want to pull up for you exactly what he's doing because you need to see what he's using to do this. Hold on a second. I gotta pull up. Where's the guitars?
Doomcock is the songbird of our generation.
Why do I feel
one way to put it?
Why do I feel like My Heart Will Go On is about to start playing?
I don't know.
Brian.
My tree.
So, folks, if you have an iPhone, right, you can pull up GarageBand. I'm going to show you how you too can be just as talented as Doomcock. You don't have to learn how to play an instrument.
Right.
You don't have to learn anything.
Awesome.
You literally just pull up GarageBand here, and under tracks you can pull up guitars. You can pull up bass, but no, we're just gonna pull up guitar there, as you can see, and see how it's got these like different things that you can do. Notes, smart guitar. We're gonna pick smart guitar right there. If you see right there, smart guitar, right? And what that does is you see there, it gives us actual chords.
That's awesome.
Let me turn it up here for you so they can. Right. So. So as long as you know like how your chords go together, so say like a basic here, we've got C, G, say A minor. There's not an F here, but you can kind of go. Right, so you can do that if you want to play in D. Actually, this is set up for D, actually, so you can play a D. And go to a G. And a C. And then, of course, you got to go to the B minor there.
I love this how-to video.
So yes, so there's your how to make a Doomcock song. There you go.
Poindexter Lounge Education brought to you
go.
by Guitar Band.
Can I just tell you, I want you all to tell me that when I make my Mark Uno version of this, because Mark Uno is a little jealous that Doomcock is, making songs now because Mark Uno made that diss track on Mike Zero, Lies, just saying. And so I don't know. Should I use this or should I actually play a real guitar?
Nah, GarageBand.
GarageBand. Okay.
What you should do is do it like editing style, towards you're just like there's a part where it's just you going like this with your phone, just like like you're playing a fast solo.
Start shredding.
Oh my god.
Of gain.
Drop D. I don't know that you can drop D on for those of you who don't know that it's an alternate tuning. It's a popular tuning. But yeah, I don't know.
Get heavy with it.
Yeah, I think you can get that heavy with it on here. But okay, so I just kind of wanted to show you because I wanted you to listen. You just heard what I played for you. Now, see if that sounds a little familiar as we listen to Doomcock's song, The Star Wars Lament, which, mind you, notice how this song just literally repeats itself over and over again, doesn't always rhyme, doesn't even make sense half the time because he's like making up words. And here, look how depressed he looks there in the corner. Look.
So you're saying it's like an Arlo Guthrie song? Is that what we're in for?
Pretty much. This is like this shows you right here that Doomcock is an old man. Doomcock is
relationship troubles.
He is an old man. He's an old man living in the 60s, and I think he smoked way too much pot back in the day. Because check this out.
As I walked out of the Rise of Skywalker, as I walked out of the theater that day,
this is so beautiful.
I spied an old fanboy dressed up like Kenobi.
I feel like I'm on a horse.
Up like Kenobi,
out on the plane.
old as the clay.
I'm hearing some Marty Robbins here. You know, little ballads. You know,
dressed up like an Obi.
Oh,
really? Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Lighters, yes. Everyone, check out your cigarette lighters. No, you know what? Sin Affinity, look, James. No, that's an insult to James Taylor. James Taylor would massacre this. Like James Taylor would like be all over this. This is. Oh my gosh.
Like a Jim Croce song. You know, it's kind of like get him.
Oh my gosh.
Operator.
Okay.
You know, come on.
I know. At least his stuff is musical. This is literally him like on his phone, just going. Whoop! Hold on a second.
Jimmy Dean sausage.
Did you guys ever see the documentary Chasing Ghosts? It's a video game documentary. It had a lot of the same players that were in King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters. Did you ever see King of Kong?
No.
Oh, I can't recommend these enough. But there's a guy who he was the self-proclaimed video game referee, Walter Day. And at the end of the documentary, he talks about how he's going to step down from being the video game referee because he needs to devote his life to his music. And he actually makes a comment about how the world has been deprived of his music all this time he's been concentrating on video games. And he then plays a song. And it's exactly what this reminds me of. Like, you know, here's a gift for you. Like this guy thinks, hey, here you go. Here's something you're going to love. And it's just horrid.
Well, hey, yeah. Hey, H Bars with a $2 super chat. He says, Enosh, that killed my ears. Oh, they're not dead yet. We're going to kill them, bury them, and throw tons of salt on top just to make sure that it's dead and buried and gone. Here we go.
I see by your outfit that once you loved Star Wars. These words he did say as I slowly passed by. Come sit down beside me and hear my sad story. For now they've killed Star Wars and I know I am done.
Great rhyme there. That was a great rhyme.
I'm telling you,
I love how he's trying to do this, like trying to make it like he's putting a lot of emotion into it. I heard there was Star Wars, like trying to be all breathy. It's almost like he's trying to be Beyonce, but like he has no idea how to do that. I heard you love Star Wars, so sit down beside me and let's cuddle each other and make sure we feel good. Like it's oh my gosh.
I was like,
Yeah.
did he start listening to like some El Paso from Marty Robbins? You know, like out in the West Texas town of El Paso. I was just like,
but that's great. That's
I
good
was
stuff, though.
like, that's what I'm hearing out of this, though. It's like I want to like saddle up my horse and go make sure my cows don't get out of line. You know, like, yep, open
okay.
plains.
Here we go.
It's a cowboy tune.
Once in an X-wing, I used to go flying. Once as a young boy, I used to go play. I'd battle Darth Vader and blow up the Death Star. Those days are over, they done Star Wars wrong.
What?
Tell him.
They done Star Wars wrong. No, you do suck. See, you're missing the last word there of what AI stands for, intelligence. Because there is no intelligence here. This is
nonsense.
Yeah, no, this, mind you, folks, remember, again, this was Doomcock's answer to all of the nonsense that happened last week with him fighting with his friends and all of his friends turning their back on him and literally like not coming to his defense and saying that he was full of nonsense, just like we've been saying. So supposedly us who are against him, which I'm not against him. I'm going to point out nonsense, but literally all of his friends did it. This was his answer, ladies and gentlemen. This was what he thought was the best way that he could communicate what he's been trying to say this whole time.
They killed all the Skywalkers, gave the Emperor a granddaughter. They made her the bestest there ever had been.
Yeah.
The bestest ever.
That's a clever
They
line.
murdered Han Solo and gave her his Falcon.
Oh, but I thought that it wasn't about her getting the Falcon. Remember when Freddie Prinze Jr. said, you know, like it's just a bunch of butthurt, you know, guys, you know, who are mad because, you know, they gave Han Solo's Millennium Falcon to her. No, that's not what. That's not what. The truth comes out in the song. And why did they kill Han Solo? Who wanted to die? Who wanted to die? You know it was a prerequisite, right? For Harrison Ford to come back, that they had to kill Han, right? Because he wanted to die in Empire and he wanted to die in Return of the Jedi. So he finally got his wish in The Force Awakens.
They turned Luke a coward and he died on the wind.
In the most awesome, epic way ever.
Hey, little Kansas in there.
The Emperor's granddaughter then took Luke's lightsaber. The Emperor's granddaughter then took all Luke's land. She then stole his sunset and worse for the blame.
No, she didn't.
One final insult, she took his last name.
No, she didn't.
That
Metaphorically.
thing he had seen, it laid heavy upon him. That thing he had seen, it fell hard on his tree.
Cylon, because.
That thing crushed his spirit. And as he departed, he said,
People need to know.
Goodbye to Star Wars, and I said bye to him.
The same chord pattern over and over again because he can't play. So he found a chord pattern that worked on this, right? And then literally sings the same tune over and over and over and over and over again. This is not a song. This is like literally a chorus gone wrong. And it's a story that nobody needed to know, like about an Obi. What the heck is an Obi?
A gangster version of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, coming straight from Tatooine.
I guess so.
Word.
I mourned as I watched him depart in the distance. I mourned as I watched him walk forever away. For he
I'm open to offers.
was our brother, and once we loved Star Wars. We all once loved Star Wars, though they done it so wrong. We all once loved Star Wars, though they done it so wrong.
I don't know if Star Wars can be saved, but for God's sake, this is why I have to try. The love that I have of Star Wars is a lifelong love, and I'm not ready to let go quite yet.
After hearing
From the
that
center
song,
of
I
the
think you
earth,
should.
this is Dictor Van Doomcock asking you to please subscribe to my channel, try to stay hopeful, but above all else, stay angry.
Way to end that one.
Is it possible that this was intentionally bad to just basically draw attention away from all the crap last week?
Probably.
Maybe. Like I feel like you could sing any lyrics to this. Like I could sing the chat, right? Oh, stay in a manger, no crib for a bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet
Oh,
head.
man. Yep.
I bet Doomcock wears a zero suit and talks all New Jersey is Sutton, D.C. Doomcock. Overt bowel intrusion, now this is abuse. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All I have to say is this is what my therapist said I should do. She suggested that I should express my feelings in a musical manner. So part of the music therapy I'm doing. So I just went with it, and this is what happened. You know, I put a lot of effort in this one. You know, I busted out my iPhone in my secret layer, and this is what happened. You know,
this is what it reminds me of. Okay, it's like that part in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where Lancelot comes into that the castle with the wedding. And like he kills all the wedding guests and the groom. He's just like, I don't want to get married. I want to sing. And his dad comes out. He's like, no singing. But that guy wasn't around to stop him.
Justin says, I'm surprised the writers of O Christmas Tree haven't sued. So look, that was Doomcock's answer. Like I don't even know what more. Yes, yeah, that's the point, right? Like I don't even know what more needs to be said about it. That was awful. Now, can I show you something real quick? Because my son heard this. Landon came home the other day, and he had watched this, right? And
I'm so sorry.
I know. I felt so bad for him. But he watched this thing, and. First of all, Doomcock gives an explanation. She's like, just a note that when I said for this video I will take off my helmet, I meant I was going to sing without it on and with my regular voice. Hope you guys enjoyed this, or at least I hope it helps articulate what many Star Wars fans are feeling and what I'm feeling those times when my hope that Star Wars can be saved flags. But I remain committed to hope. Stay angry, my friends. Things are heading in a positive direction, but has the damage been too much? I don't know, but I love Star Wars, and I'm going to continue to fight for it. Now, this is what my son said. My son said, Dad, okay, so this is awful. Like what the comment section has got to be brutal, doesn't it, Dad? Okay. Listen, look at this. Now, this is a fine piece of culture. I felt more listening to this song than I felt watching the entire Disney trilogy. I'm just glad the future ruler of Earth has a beautiful singing voice. Talk about a twofer.
Yes.
The worst thing you are is a Pollyanna, Lord Doomcock, and this is the best thing about you. You are the almost lone positive voice out there in the fandom menace. No, because you know what? We're going to have in here in just a second. Once we're done with this, we're going to have probably the person that I think is probably the most positive voice in the Fandom Menace. I don't even know if he still considers himself Fandom Menace. I don't know. I saw him on. I saw him. Yeah, I saw him on Eddie's stream the other day, and he was having a hard time like actually defining it. What was it? Where's the one though? You did nothing wrong. Those who choose to walk away should do so quietly. There's no such thing as too hopeful. Hope is the core of Star Wars, and while everything is in its darkest, it's the only thing that can help keep you sane and happy. Here's the one that my son like literally almost threw up in a little bit in his mouth. The voice of an angel, an evil angel plotting the destruction of Earth, but an angel nonetheless.
Yes.
Even those who don't like the guy must admit he's a great singer.
Must we?
The song is lovely. When what would later be called A New Hope came out, I saw it opening weekend and every week after that for at least a year. Step 1, lie down. Step 2, try not to cry. Step 3, cry a lot. I cried a lot listening to this as well, but for different reasons, I think. It's like the Force itself helped Overlord write these beautiful lyrics that captured our pain, the travesty of the sequels so well.
I should comment on there and be like, this would be the kind of song I would play when I get up to go to the bathroom at the radio station.
This is the kind of thing that would like, I feel like it would break up that constipation.
Yeah, you get a good solid deuce out of it.
I'm just saying. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been saying all along. When you're stopped up, take some Doomcock. Doomcock. When you have to go, but you can't, trust Doomcock.
When you have to go, but you can't.
When you have to go poop, but you just can't go, trust Doomcock and your stool will just flow.
Doomcock.
Okay, that has to be a drop.
Warning, you are now entering the salty zone. 2 cents on nonsense.
That was beautiful.
I'm sorry. It's just too much.
I think that was better than the song.
That hurts.
Don't forget to take your Doomagra, guaranteed to keep your anger rock hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's all smoke and mirrors at DC Burgers. Come for the burgers, stay for the explosive diarrhea.
Oh my gosh.
And if you're too stopped up, take a Doom-enema when you need to flush all of your logic and sense. And don't forget to see my new movie, Willie Doomcock and the Salt Factory.
I just have one more product placement. Sorry, this is coming out of my layer. After you listen to the song, you might need some Doomprofen.
Doomprofen.
Since has a lot of nonsense. Yes.
It's something. I took a shower with Kathleen Kennedy.
I'm also talking to my therapist about that one.
Well, Well, okay, and so this will be my last thing for this topic.
Where are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, yes, to each and every one of you. But look, that's what was going on this week, guys. And apparently Doomcock is hurt. His feelings have been hurt. Him and his friend Obi are hanging out, and they're very, very sad. And so there you go. So there's that. All right. That being said, on to our next topic, and we are going to now bring in Justin Proper. What's up, Justin?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
We're doing great. So glad to have you here.
I have absolutely nothing to say about that.
Oh man!
I mean, what can you say? I mean, Grammys should be pouring in. I feel like the Academy is just going to just pull up the truck and it's just beep 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 and just dump all the Grammys off at Doomcock's house, into his lair there. So
it's gonna go.
You never know. You never know.
Absolutely.
I'm just here to talk about Indiana Jones.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Music Man says, Enosh, for that you owe me and everyone else a super chat. That's great.
I agree with that statement.
That's great. Oh my gosh.
Can we all get a bonus for that?
My ears are bleeding.
Yes. All right. So here's the thing, guys. So what Justin was talking about. So and we just actually talked about this, last week, and it's been something that's come up a lot of times, is that in the original Raiders of the Lost Ark, there is a mention of the fact that Marion, talks about, Henry, and that, he broke her heart, and that there was some kind of relationship that went along with that. And from the sounds of it, we don't know exactly what age she was or what happened. They never really get into that of exactly what happened with that, but it has been one of those things that, like, even Brian, you mentioned last week when we were talking about it briefly, it was a different time. Kids were getting married at a much. My grandma got married at the age of 16.
Go back to the Depression. I guarantee you guys had some parent or grandparents that were like,
Oh, this is what we're talking about in terms of Indiana Jones. Okay.
Yeah, well, we could talk about Indiana Jones as a whole, but and Justin, actually, before we jump into this, what are your thoughts? I'm more than willing to give you, a moment to tell me, what your thoughts are on Indiana Jones 5.
I like all four of the movies. Actually, I love all four of the movies. I love them more than I love Star Wars. And and I will go as far as to say that the Temple of Doom is kind of not in terms of quality. It was my first introduction to Indiana Jones. The first thing I ever saw while flipping through, the channels was, it makes me sound old, flipping through the channels.
Yeah.
Was Indy saying, "Prepare to meet Kali in hell," and I'm like, "Whoa! If that doesn't give you a good first impression, I don't know what else would." But it has nothing to do with the other movies. So I watched Raiders, Last Crusade, Crystal Skull as its own trilogy, and I found so many parallels, and I had more respect for Crystal Skull and what it was trying to do, even though it failed on so many levels that we are all familiar with, unfortunately. But my concern is they'll try to retcon too much from that. They'll try to steer away, and it'll just have a more or less the clean slate that Indy 4 had is what's going to be Indy 5, and I don't like that. I don't like the idea of Shia LaBeouf not being a part of it, as you guys were joking about it earlier. I really don't want, Mutt Williams to just be killed off. I really don't want that. I don't want to see Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood to be divorced. That's not on my radar. Those are more or less my concerns. You know what?
Yeah.
And on top
can
of
can I ask you a question though, Justin?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let me ask you this though. Okay. So I would be very disappointed if after we just saw, them get married in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right, that they somehow divorced the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But why would that even be a concern at this point? I mean, to me, that would be like, that's like saying like, well, like if, like whatever other movie, like, I don't even know. I mean, it's literally like pulling something that just could be like one of the worst things that could happen without there being any indication that that's even something happened. And said, well, wouldn't it be horrible if they got a divorce? Well, yeah. But why would you go there?
Because she apparently has not been contacted to be in the movie, but that could also be, as far as I'm concerned, could just be, it was a surprise for me when Marion was in the movie in Indiana Jones 4 in the first place, but,
But like but without knowing what the story is, like, because I know that a lot of people brought up the fact about Mutt right now. Look, I'd rather see Short Round come back, and
I want to see him too.
I would love to see Short Round coming back, but here's
I want to see Sala again.
I want to see Sala for sure. But like here's the point about Mutt. Like, just because Mutt was introduced in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that doesn't mean that he has to be in every installment. Literally, they can just be like, well, Mutt is someplace else. Like, why would Mutt have to be in every movie? Like, every character that was introduced along the way in all these movies doesn't necessarily have to be in every movie. You know what I mean? They're not going to be major players in every movie. So, like, Mutt, the only reason Mutt was even in Crystal Skull was he served a purpose for getting Henry and Marion together in the script, right? And then also showing Indiana that he had a son, right? But like if this story for Indiana Jones 5 doesn't have a reason to include Mutt is he's not an archaeologist. You know what I mean? He's not a college professor. Mutt is literally like a guy, like he was like a 50s greaser guy, you know what I mean? Who drives a motorcycle and parts his hair, like there's no reason that necessarily to me that Mutt has to be in this film. And just because Mutt is not in this film does not mean that, to me anyways, that it's like they're killing him off or like, it's going to be bad because they're not bringing him back. I just feel like every character doesn't necessarily have to be in every movie. I mean, look at Sala, for example. Sala, to me, is a much more integral character to Indiana Jones, and yet Sala hasn't been in every Indiana Jones movie.
I understand that, and even when there were parts in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when I think it was one of the university professors who that iconic shot of you see the guy like tapping on the door or something and walking into Indy's classroom, and and then the bell rings and all that stuff. All that classic shot that's in those three movies. That role when the guy says like, I didn't hey, you're fired. Like they fired him for the university, and then he says, well, what did it cost you? Well, I resigned. If that was Marcus Brody, that would have hit people so much better than it would this random dude. That was written for him. There was no part written for Sala, which was just kind of sad to me because, I don't know. I'm not saying to like force everybody in it, but I really love the movies. I really love these characters. I just want to see them back again.
And it would be very,
that. Yeah, I would be very disappointed if they decided to go the cheap route of, Mutt got into a fight and just,
something the neck greaser fight,
yeah. Look, I can respect you saying, like I just want to see them in the film, right? What the problem that I have though with a lot of the negativity that I hear about it is because it's not coming from that point. It's not coming from just like, well, hey, we want to see it. It's like when you have people reporting, like negativity about the film that's not even been announced, like, for example, like, well, Marion hasn't been announced for it, so they're going to be divorced. Right. Like, why?
Oh
You know,
no, I'm not. I'm not saying that's going to be.
I know
the case.
you're
I'm
not.
just
I know
like,
you're not, but I've heard people talk about that. Like, well, she hasn't even been announced for it yet. So that means that, obviously she's not playing a part in it. So what did they do? Did they, they divorce her? They're going to ruin this. Like, why come at it from that angle instead of just like, she's his wife. She doesn't have to go on every adventure. Maybe he's off on an adventure that she can't go on, or maybe she has a bit part in it where, it's just like, hey, here's your stuff. Here's your stuff, Henry.
The thing. That's the thing. You could very easily just say like, yeah, she's going to be in it, even if it is for a bit part. There's no reason. They acknowledge other people in the cast, like I think the guy's name's Toby Jones and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I'm not psyched to have be part of the cast, but whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm really, why not say like, oh yeah, she has a bit part or something, like, she's going to be in the movie. There's no harm to it. Just
well,
say
but
it.
maybe it's a thing of like, maybe she doesn't know if she can be in it yet. Maybe there's a scheduling thing they're still trying to work out, and so they're not.
It is a COVID situation still.
So maybe they're not going to announce it until they know for sure that they can do it. Maybe they have a part, but like they're just like, we're going to wait and see. And maybe not get everybody's hopes up. What I'm saying is like there's a million different ways that can play out, right? Without it being like the automatic negative that like they're just trying to ruin. That Lucasfilm is just trying to ruin Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah, and also you have to consider, Lucasfilm's, reputation and how they, handled the, the sequel trilogy. That's not just a Fandom Menace concern. That's a general audience concern. People who are like, oh yeah, they connect Star Wars with Indiana Jones, because, a lot of fans, know about that, and George has no involvement in it for better or worse. People are just concerned about it, and they want Harrison, while he is getting up in age, I don't really think that really is for me personally, it's not a factor. And I like Matthew Kadish. He's a great guy. I have nothing but kind words to say about his character and his very calm demeanor. But he has his opinion, and that's fine. And I respect that. But I don't think bringing Harrison Ford's age into it is going to help at all. I don't think it's very productive. But that's all I have to really say about that. I hope it's a good film. But I'm just, I'm very apprehensive about it, and hopefully, from what I said, you kind of understand why. But a lot of people are not going to really go that angle. They'll go the typical, like, James Mangold is attacking fans, and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not, I don't care anymore about that. I'm like, no, it gets exhausting, if you know what I mean. That's all I have to say about that. But we can go back to the Marion thing if you want.
Joe, did you have something there, man, that you wanted to say? I thought it was like,
I mean, I think it might at this point take us off on a tangent, but I just was going to dispute the fact that I don't think most people have any negative feelings towards Lucasfilm. I think it's a subset of online fans, but I don't think that represents the general public at all.
Because it's a separate franchise.
What's that?
Is it because it's a separate franchise?
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I want to take us down the tangent hole, but like even with the Star Wars movies, I think like the sequel trilogy, despite all the backlash we hear online, I think the general public really embraced those movies. I mean, they each broke $1 billion. I don't. If you look at the cinema score, which is, people coming out of the theater, they all have pretty high scores. So I don't really think that's true. I know we hear online all day, every day about how much those movies sucked, but I just don't think that's the perception to the public at large.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that because I know tons of people who are not. We're talking about the normies. We're talking about people who just are like, hey, there's another Star Wars movie. Hey, okay, I'm going to go check it out. Right? Like they're not the average person is just going to see something to be entertained, and they're like, hey, I like this one. Literally, I had people asking me, like, you know, when the prequels came out, you know, like literally a friend of mine was like, oh, well, so is this young kid like Luke when he's a kid? Well, no, that's Anakin. You know what I mean? Like, I had to explain this to people, but the thing is like the average person just goes and they want lightsabers, they want blasters, they want spaceships, explosions. Like it's diehard fans that are picking it apart. Like, but the thing is the diehard fans are like picking apart stuff, you know, that doesn't even really matter. I got a friend still to this day, and he was just over last week. He is still caught up on the fact that like there's bombers in The Last Jedi. Like literally, he's mad about the fact that there's bombers in The Last Jedi. And I've talked to him about this many times, and like even showed him in the visual dictionary where it talks about that the bombers in The Last Jedi, they don't just drop bombs, that there's a propulsion system, that whole rack. That's why it pushes all the bombs out into space. Because like, you don't drop bombs in space.
Well, not only that, but there's two things. That one grinds my gears too. That one pisses me off more than anything. It was like my least favorite critique of the whole damn movie. It's like, first off, where are the B wings? Because there's bombers. Okay, okay. Those bombs are all magnetic as well. As you notice, before they drop, they all light up. They go. Okay.
Thank you, Joe. You have successfully created this tangent.
I'm sorry. That's why I
no, you dare apologize. Makes for far interesting conversation.
There's a bomber. That's a B-wing bomber right there. Right over here is actually, where is it? I mean, there's bombers in The Empire Strikes Back. You know, I mean, like look what they do in the asteroid field, where they're dropping bombs on the asteroids, trying to, you know, lure out, you know, Han and Leia and all them out of the Falcon, you know? So, I mean, like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, there's always going to be a group of fans who are upset about stuff. And I get it. Look, that's why the Fandom Menace exists, because there's a bunch of people who are ticked off about it. But the thing is, like, I think if you look at the overall spectrum of people, I just don't think, I think that if you add in the normies who just don't care and are just there to be entertained, along with the people who just love Star Wars and can acknowledge the fact that maybe I don't love every Star Wars movie, but I rank them at different places, and I just don't hate the sequels. You know, there's parts of the sequels that absolutely get on my nerves. I can admit that. I can absolutely admit that there's parts of different movies and stuff in the sequels that get on my nerves. But I think at the end of the day, in 10, 15 years, all these kids that grew up with the sequels, it's going to be just like the prequels. Because at one point, the prequels were the worst thing, and you know that it literally spawned the term, you know, raped my childhood, because it was placed on George Lucas, that George Lucas raped our childhood by giving us the prequels and destroying Star Wars. And they wanted George off the project as fast as they could. But people forget that. And, you know, and I guarantee you in 10 to 15 years, all these kids that grew up with it, because that's who loves the prequels now, are all these kids who grew up, you know, because now it's been 20 years, right? It's, you know, it's been 22 years, 23 years since the Phantom Menace came out, and there's all these kids that grew up with it and they loved it.
So, is it really been 23 years?
Almost, well, 22. 1999. 1999.
We actually had this.
Oh no.
We actually had this exact same conversation last Monday on the Cinema Sickness live stream. We were talking about how the kids of today are going to grow up loving these sequels, and it's going to be like the prequels. You know, now you hear all this love for the prequels now. You didn't hear that 20 years ago.
Oh, heck no. Heck no.
People who hated on the prequels are like, "Oh my god, the prequels were the best thing ever." It's like, dude.
I think when people say that, they're really talking about Revenge of the Sith. You know, not like all of them.
They're not.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We just had a whole discussion about Attack of the Clones the other night on Dawson's stream, and there were plenty of people in the chat and everything. And I'll be honest with you, even for me, Attack of the Clones was a movie that I just really didn't like until 2015. And when we were
Really?
getting ready, when we were leading up until The Force Awakens, we had just bought this house and we set up in our living room like a movie theater, and we had a projector and we got the surround sound out. We had a ton of people over. We had a day where like everybody got here at 8 a.m. and we watched all 6 movies from start to finish. We all had foods that were based on Star Wars stuff. So we had lightsaber, chocolate dip pretzels, there were different colors, stuff that Tiffany made, so we had green chocolate and red chocolate and blue chocolate, on pretzels. And we had somebody made
pretzels that you could dip in chocolate.
Well, so it was pretzel sticks. It was pretzel sticks that had been dipped in chocolate, but it was
that's awesome.
chocolate that was colored with food coloring. And so, you had your chocolate covered pretzel, but it was, it looked like a lightsaber, red, blue, green, whatever. And then like somebody
the one purple that like the lucky winner would get.
Right. But like we also made like Star Wars Jello jigglers, so like Han and Carbonite, like Jello. We got Jello molds and stuff and did that. And we even had some people who brought everybody brought different foods. So like somebody brought Death Star meatballs. I've got one of those ice shapers that make ice cubes that look like a Death Star, and so I made a ton of those. So everybody's drinks and stuff had Death Stars. And
Boba Fett
already more fun than what we were going to talk about.
Did you have Boba Fettuccine? That's what I'm going to know.
But that'd be great though. That'd be great. I could make that. Heck yeah. But so I mean, we had this whole day, and the thing is when we got to episode 2. There was something about watching episode 2 that day that changed the way ever since then, I have had a new appreciation for Attack of the Clones that I never had before. Are there still parts in it that are very, very slow, that are very, very boring, that are whatever? Yes. But I'll tell you right now, one of the things we just watched The Mandalorian when Slave One threw that sonic bomb down in The Mandalorian and it made that sound. Everybody lost their freaking mind. And where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Attack of the Clones.
That was one of the greatest sound effects.
For that
film. Yeah,
I remember watching that in the theater and thinking something went wrong with the, with the sound or whatever, because everything just goes really super quiet and there's a, I mean,
I did not have a chance to see that in theaters, but even then, I was just like, everything sounds like, I'm like, oh, what the?
It's the first time I was ever in IMAX, dude. It was Attack of the Clones, and that was amazing. It was like, whoa, shook the seats.
How did that not blow your eardrums out? In the
it was amazing. What? No,
how did that not blow your eardrums out?
No, I was just,
I'm serious.
I'm still suffering. I'll get through it one day.
Levon brings up a good point. So one of the things I think that first of all, what's up, Pelican? Good to see you, man. Miss you, bro. Haven't talked to you in a while. It was good to see you, Levon. So I will say this about this. So I will say that the Clone Wars cartoon, fleshed that out. Now, but here's the thing: when the Clone Wars cartoon first came out, it sucked. It was awful. That movie that they put out, I took my son to see that when he was little, and I sat there going, oh my God, what the heck am I watching here? Like, it was the first time I went and saw anything Star Wars in the theater that I was just like, what is this going to be? Right. And I'll be honest with you, I really liked the Gennady, is it Gennady? The guy who did Samurai Jack when he did the Clone Wars, the
kind of the hand-drawn art style.
The 2D animation. Well, I loved that. But the thing is that what I will tell you, Levon, is what's going to make it great. And this of course flies in the face of what Doomcock says. But right now with The Mandalorian and all these other shows, they are going to lead up to the sequels, and it's going to flesh out all those stories for people. So in 10 years, you will have gotten the full spectrum of what led up to that, what the stories were. And I think that it'll make it even better for you.
No, wait a minute. I heard that the shows are going to wipe out that continuity.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, hell no, they are not.
Are you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Never in a million years.
No,
they're not.
It's
not gonna happen. But
no, they're gonna tie it in nicely.
A man can dream, can he?
right?
Yeah, it's just it is.
I wish. Yeah, but oh well. I don't care.
If I could bring it back to Indiana Jones, I'd like to throw another wrinkle at you. Everyone's talking about Mutt, but there's another character I'd be far more interested in seeing in this new Indiana Jones movie, and that's Indiana Jones's canonical daughter, who does exist because the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, when he was an old man, he has a full-grown daughter and grandchildren.
Yeah,
is that going to come into canon? That's the other question.
They already brought the series into canon in Crystal Skull when he referenced Pancho Villa. So and also Spielberg's the producer. Lucas may not be attached, but I don't see Spielberg tossing out his best friend's stuff and saying, "Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore."
Yeah, it would be a shame. I think they really need to recapture that.
Well, where were you going to go with that? I'm curious.
Well, see, my thing is my only downer about this is because I don't know about seeing Harrison Ford being Indiana Jones again. I'm over the character because I was kind of so over the last one. So I was just like, okay, I'm not really too interested in it. But like I said, I'm more of a hardcore for the original trilogy kind of thing. So as far as Indiana Jones is concerned, but no, what I would be interested in seeing is more like a prequel to Indiana Jones. You know how the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles was a good TV show. I wish they would do something like that, but with a movie. How they had River Phoenix in the beginning of in the beginning of Last Crusade and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
sure. And Last Crusade is my favorite, one of the movies.
And that's my favorite too.
Yeah.
And it's partially
Last
River
Crusade.
Phoenix.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with that River Phoenix scene where it's that's how he got
all
the
of
hat.
it. Really?
Yeah, well, a lot of it, yes. I mean, that and the relationship with his dad, which I think is fantastic.
Those father-son films, I don't know what it is, but it just
just a slap in the face. That's for blasphemy. I'm like, oh.
No, I agree.
Wait. What is? Oh, we're going to this. Okay.
Yeah. So this is something though that came out, and because we were talking about it last week, and there's some people who didn't even realize that this was a thing. But I know Brian talked about it last week, and this, we did talk about this, and that is the story. But Karen Allen, who plays Marion Ravenwood, has come out defending the iconic character from accusations of pedophilia. She says the relationship between Indy and Marion Ravenwood has been debated among fans for almost 40 years. So I'm interested hear what you guys think of this. Karen Allen, the actress who played Marion Ravenwood in Raiders of the Lost Ark, is hoping to clear the air about a controversial scene between her character and Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. The massively popular adventure film debuted almost exactly 40 years ago in 1981, introducing the world to partnership and turmoil between Indy and Marion. As the movies gained popularity and spawned 3 follow-up films, fans have discussed the duo's initial meeting and the implication that Jones had a romantic relationship with an underage girl. When Jones first sees Marion in her bar, they discuss the falling out he had with her father after they engaged in some kind of romantic relationship. Marion is holding a grudge and shouts at Jones, "I was a child. You knew what you were doing." Jones snaps back. The scene is kept vague, and the nature of their past romance is never explored in subsequent scenes. This has led many over the years to speculate that Jones was courting a girl who was inappropriately aged for him, with some even going as far as to call him a pedophile. Speaking to Uproxx to mark the film's 40th anniversary, Allen explained that she always believed that her character was justified in being mad at Jones, but stopped short of saying he groomed a literal child. I think I say I was 16. I don't know. That's always what I imagined, is she was 16, he was 26, and he was her father's student. And it's left very mysterious, she told the outlet. She continued by noting that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas kept the moment vague on purpose in order to give the duo history upon the audience first meeting them. As a result, she always believed the relationship was perhaps less whirlwind than Ravenwood let on. So we don't even know what it is. I mean, they could have kissed a few times and she was just completely bowled over, and he could have just not wanted to get involved with someone so young, she explained, and maybe my father would have been furious at him. I mean, what's great about it is we don't know what the circumstances are. So she obviously cared deeply for him. He may have cared for her too, but in the end decided it was a dangerous situation and he didn't want to be involved. She added, I mean, I guess when something is as vague as that, you can color it any way you want to color it. I've tended to color it sort of that it was quite innocent. When she says it was wrong and you knew it, I mean, I think maybe he led her on in some way. But when she says she was a child, I think she meant she was 16, something like that. The Star concluded her thoughts by unequivocally noting that she doesn't think of him as a pedophile. Regardless, Jones and Ravenwood rekindled their romance at the end of Raiders, but she did not return for Temple of Doom, nor Last Crusade. Well, Temple of Doom is actually a prequel to Raiders, so she wouldn't have. However, Ravenwood surprised audiences in 2008 when she appeared in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull to introduce Jones to their son. Currently, Ford is filming the untitled 5th installment in the franchise. Allen has not been confirmed to reprise her role, but she recently told Forbes that she would be open to bringing Ravenwood back in her own spin-off TV show. That'd be interesting. I don't know how that would work. Everybody's getting a TV show these days.
It'd be like Agent Carter.
Right? She goes, it has never come up, but I would adore that. I would love to do something like that that developed the character more deeply, she told the outlet. Well, if Disney's out there listening. So I don't know, Brian, you've talked about this a lot. What do you think of hearing her explanation there?
Well, I mean, she kind of left it as vague as, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg did, you know what I mean? So you could easily take it the other way. So, I mean, I can understand where the criticism might have come from. To what I understand, it was like she was in her early 20s in the drinking scene, and the relationship they had was 10 years or so before that. So, like she'd be in her early teens by, my mathematics. But
well, according to, I guess there was like some, limited edition, guidebook or whatever that was,
Gotcha.
printed out. I don't know. I was just doing a little bit of digging just in case. I don't know. Looking at this like weird, I don't know. How much do you guys trust like these fandom wikis or whatever based on that compose all the source materials that they have? Like, how much do you guys like? I don't know.
I think some are better than others, but
it's like Wikipedia.
Okay,
well, Wikipedia is one of the good ones, though. Because Wikipedia is a compiled.
Okay, this is just a basic fandom one. They say that Indy was born in 1899, which is consistent with what I've been aware of, and then Marion being born in 1906 or 1909. So I don't know. Oh, 1909. So like it kind of matches up with that, but
so she's about 10 years younger than him.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. Aren't they like 10 years apart as well?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Well, and
the
thing is too is like, okay, look, so we live in a society now, right? And it's very easy to look back at things that aren't so long ago, maybe 100 years ago, 150 years ago, and we can look back on things with a different
nobody would have batted an eye back then.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
a
nowadays.
time.
Yeah, nowadays we have very set rules. We have these very set things in our culture and our society and stuff as far as Western civilization. But when you're looking back at those early days, I mean, or not early days, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, like 100 years ago, there were people that we would consider kids who were considered adults because of how they were raised. I mean, they were raised literally in a completely different society where people grew up a whole lot faster. They had a whole lot more responsibility. They were kids.
They were working at the coal mine. Like
that's what I'm saying. There were people getting married at 13 years old. You were considered a man or a woman at 13 years old. I mean, when you had you hit puberty and you were of childbearing years, like you were considered an adult. So you know, like I'm not saying that would fly today. Obviously, it would not fly today, you know, but you know, it's a different time. Absolutely,
people forget what the word progressive means or progressivism. You know, like people, you know, I don't know. Time progresses, people evolve, societies evolve. So I don't know what to say. It's just like 100 years ago is not the same as today, guys. Come on. Like,
no, you're right.
I don't understand this. You know, you just these are not something that you can. These are not situations that you could really accurately and fairly compare.
No, and not only that, but when I stumbled upon these, this was during like rabbit hole diving, like, you know, conspiracy theory hunting. You know, this is where I would find stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the dirty inside Hollywood. It's like, oh gosh.
I do think anybody. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, didn't we kind of like all do this with Condor Men? How at the watch party we're like watching, it's like, oh yeah, like these things wouldn't fly today. I'm like, you know, this is like the 80s. You know, this is kind of like how I guess things were. I wasn't born clearly, but I mean, it's kind of thing like all like sort of these jokes or sort of these like things going on in the movies. Like, oh yeah, these things wouldn't fly today. It's just kind of like that same thing, like what you're saying, Justin. Like things evolve, you know.
And I don't think you can go back and try to cancel people or try to hold people to the standard of today for back then. I don't think that that's fair to do.
Yeah, no, and I want to be clear. Like when I was bringing this up the other day, I wasn't like saying this to condemn like anybody.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like that. It was mostly just to like, you know, do a little research on your own, and you could see kind of some of the parallels that happened, you know, in the industry because we were talking.
I mean, literally, they didn't have running water back then. Oh, you know, I mean, they didn't have toilets. You know, they didn't have toilets. They had an outhouse, and you went out there with the Sears catalog. My grandma was born in 1941, man, and that was rustic alone. I mean, I can't imagine if Indiana Jones was born in, what did you say, 1899? Good Lord, come on.
Hence really? The root word progress.
Yeah. I mean, society moves on, guys. You know, society moves on. It changes. And
we no longer have to wipe our asses with leaves, people. Be thankful for that.
God blesseth America.
Hey, I'm just trying to get through the last package of one ply that my wife bought last year during COVID. Like seriously,
not serious. There's no way you're.
No, serious. I swear to God. I swear to God. I keep asking Tiffany because we've got two bathrooms, and the bathroom downstairs is our Star Wars bathroom, right? So it's all decked out with Star Wars stuff, and I've got like an Empire Strikes Back poster in there that's like framed, and I got a Return of the Jedi poster in there, and we've got
and the bathroom. Come on, really?
Yeah, we've got Death Star.
That's awesome.
We've got Death Star rugs. Got Death Star rugs in there, and I got a bunch of Star Wars Pez dispensers that are all up there and everything. And we've got hand towels there that are Han and Leia, and they say "I love you" and "I know" that are hanging there for people to use. And I mean, but dude, right here outside this door in the hallway, I've got two Han Solo rugs. Frozen in carbonite. They go the length of the hallways. I mean, that's our whole house, man. Our whole house is this. So it's not just a toy room here. So but the thing is that what I was saying is that like with that what was I saying about that? What were we just talking about?
I was talking about being
no. Oh, I remember what I said. So downstairs here in the bottom one, that's the one that our boys use most, right? Is the Star Wars one. That's the shower they use and stuff like that. And my wife and I have the one upstairs. And so it's funny because like Tiffany, you know, when COVID hit and, you know, people were fighting over, you know, toilet paper and stuff, man, you know, she went out and stocked up, but the only thing that was in, you know, was at the store was like one ply, but you had to have something, right? And so like I swear I keep messing with her and I'm like, Tiff, how much freaking one ply did you buy? Like we're sitting here a year later, man, and I'm still using one ply down here in the Star Wars bathroom. Like,
hey man, had this been a real emergency, you'd be thanking your lucky stars you had that single ply. Okay.
Oh, dude. Oh, trust me, I do.
That
I
commercial
still have
grade
this.
goodness.
Oh, yeah. I still have the so a girl that I worked with years ago made me this when I worked at Kinko's. and I still have it to this day. In case of
There you go.
emergency, break, seal, and wipe. And I also have a little little pack. It's like a little square pack, almost looks like a little like wet wipes thing. And yeah, this is the same thing. But yeah, so
I'd like to point out that when I first met my wife, she found out that I had a painting in my bathroom of Superman on the toilet that said "Trouble Brews at the Fortress of Solitude," and she said, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" Because at my place, I have a frame picture of the Fortress of Solitude over my toilet. So now we're married, and both of these hang next to each other.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's when you know you're with the right person, man. Tiffany,
That is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Tiffany completes me, man. Like seriously, that woman, she's amazing with the stuff that that she brings into our relationship as far as this nerddom. I mean, she's totally into it, so that's cool. But look, I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones 5. I get it. There's people who there's things about Crystal Skull that they don't like. I don't think Crystal Skull is near as bad as people want to make it out to be.
Thank you.
I don't like the monkey. I'm with everybody. I don't like the monkey scene, and I don't like the stupid rubber snake. I don't understand the rubber snake thing, and I don't understand why they made it. Why they made some parts of that movie that you can tell are obviously shot on a sound stage. I mean, it's like the graveyard thing. It's painfully obvious, but there's nothing wrong with it as a movie. Like people who are just like aliens, whatever, it's like, look, if anybody's going to be tackling that stuff, look, they tie it in with the Mayan, city of gold and about the youth kind of thing. And it's something that Indiana Jones would be going after in the 50s. I mean, that's what was
And with the context of even like I was such a nerd. These are the first movies that I watched, all the behind the scenes that I could ever get my hands on. Especially Crystal Skull, and Stevens was like, "I don't even want to do aliens, George. Why would I want to do that? I've already made 2 other movies about that. Why would that even interest me?" He's like, "Okay, they're not aliens. He's like, "Thank you. Okay. They're interdimensional beings." Like, oh,
yes.
that was what got me.
Yeah, I will say this. If you ever watch Riff Tracks, which is the guys who did Mystery Science Theater 3000, they have a thing called Riff Tracks. They have a thing called Riff Tracks, and they riff on movies. I have the Riff Tracks to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Okay, I've got that file. We should do a watch party of that because it's absolutely hilarious. And so I would definitely be down to do that. What's up, William? How's it going, sir? Welcome to the conversation, man. Good to see you. Been a while.
Yeah, you haven't been on, and I've been slammed, so it's the perfect storm.
What do you think of Indiana Jones, man? Are you looking forward to Indiana Jones 5?
Not any more than any other movie. I think a lot of the movies a lot of the Indiana Jones movies are what he can do physically and what he has done physically. The stunts, the over-the-top things that he's always doing, and he's closing in on 80. So unless there's somebody else in there that's going to take his role to do that, you're talking about a much more cerebral movie. And I'm not saying Indiana Jones movies are stupid, but it's the stunts, it's everything, it's the whole package. And
they got people doing these stunts anyways, man. Like,
yeah, but you're looking at an aged Harrison Ford, and you can kind of make the correlation that he's not going to be doing the same stuff that he did back in 1982, 1980,
not himself, but not even the best stunts were done by him. When he was going by.
The stunts that were done back then were when he was in his 30s. It's going to be a lot less believable.
Well, the stunts that he did, but if you're talking about if you you don't think he actually did the stunt at the bottom of the car when he's big.
What I'm saying that.
Yeah, okay.
It's much more believable as a 30-year-old man than it's going to be if he's doing crazy stuff at 80.
But keep in mind, this is an 80-year-old man who drank from the Holy Grail.
That's true.
But then you could also say that it didn't work for his father as much, but he only took a sip. I don't know.
Hey, like I said, once again, it depends on what kind of story they give me. I would need to know the context of what he's going to be doing And so there's a lot to be to really be revealed about the movie. But like I said, I'm not looking forward to it any more or less than any movie that's coming out. I just don't have the anticipation of it right now.
Well, it's like the one thing that took me out of the show Picard is when they actually had Picard quote unquote action scenes where he had to like run up a flight of stairs and stuff, and it was clearly a stuntman, but it's like, dude, like.
I saw that when he was facing what's her face? Yeah.
In the first episode, it's just like, man, what's that?
One when she blew up too. The self-destruction one. The problem with that, and there was one of the few mistakes I think they made in that series, is that was not indicative of his character. Period. He was never He was 47 years old when he took on that role for the very first time. He was never an action person. It was never an action show in that manner. So to have him do that was not characteristic. So I thought that was silly. I thought some of the stuff that they did towards the end with Riker was they could have done a lot better. He should have been an admiral. He's leading a fleet, and he's still a captain. And all the ships were the same. They're the most advanced ships, but you have 200 of the same ship. But overall, I like Picard. I'm looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so that's all of our takes on that. I think everybody's pretty much got that out. I think the important thing to take away from this is the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is here on the set with Harrison Ford, showing once again that Kathleen Kennedy has not been fired, and
I
she
think
is.
That has to be her.
It is her. Oh, hold on a second. That's just this angle. Hold on a second. Hold on.
No, she's.
Oh, is there another angle?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll pull up the other.
I thought it was her, but I wasn't.
It's absolutely her. It's absolutely her.
Okay.
You can tell. I mean, she's wearing a mask, but I mean, that's Kathleen Kennedy. So.
Why would the head of Lucasfilms not be at a Lucasfilm movie?
Well, because don't you know she's not being allowed to do anything except for The Acolyte, which is going to be an absolute failure because it's nothing but a woke female-centric show, and that's all they're allowing her to do. William.
Exactly.
Exactly. Your number one red light is when somebody uses the term woke, disparaging like that. You shouldn't listen to them at all. Anybody in your circles, when they start using woke, take a look at who it is. It's like I always say, it's almost entirely somebody who will never be affected by what people are woke about. So you can pretty much dismiss that. But I see no real reason why. I keep hearing she's going to be fired by people, and then I look at the sources and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
Producers.
This is what I was saying about a pendulum. Oh, I'm sorry, William. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
Well, my thing is like with the pendulum swinging was, we can't use. No one should use the same, the phraseology or like any of the terms as like so excessively as it has been, for like, I guess what I would say the old school fandom menace when everyone was calling people racist, sexist, misogynist for just having an opinion on a movie. And then, we're just like, what the fuck? And then, we can't just call everyone soy boys. We can't just call everybody woke, or this is just going to be because it has a female in it. We can't just, say, all these different phrases that are just used over and over and over again. We have to understand that, this goes both ways, and that without, having to, this old phrase, comes into mind. It's been a long time since I've used this. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
There you go.
And that's basically, how you should approach it. Just learn how to take a step back and just realize, like, calling everything woke, calling everything like horrible, is probably not the best approach to everything. But that's just my opinion.
Well, it does.
And I don't speak for everybody on my side of the fence, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, you're absolutely right, though, Justin. You're absolutely right, because the thing is once you start saying that about everything, it loses its meaning, And it's like the boy who cried wolf, right? So, and it's like even what I told Jeremy when Jeremy was here. I said, look, if you're claiming that there's identity politics or wokeness or feminism behind every door under every rock, well, then you're gonna lose all credibility when something's actually there to actually have a legitimate conversation about when somebody is pushing that as an agenda. Right. And so, like, I think it's important, like you mentioned, like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? For example, right? Like,
I'm not excited about it.
No,
I'm sorry,
and that's fine.
I'm not.
No, and that's fine. That's fine, dude. And I don't care. Like, I'm not a Phoebe Waller-Bridge fan. Okay. So that's not where I'm coming from with this. My thing about that is that, like, I don't care that she was cast in the Indiana Jones movie. My thing is that everybody else in that movie, if you look at it, I mean, Steven Spielberg is a liberal. Harrison Ford is a liberal. Everybody else who's working on these movies are liberals. Like, one more liberal is not going to destroy the movie. You know what I mean? Like, as far as I'm concerned, right? And but like, that was my problem with like some of those comments about it, was that like, well, we know that because she's in this movie, she's gonna be act in some way to Harrison Ford's thing, and that she's gonna push this and whatever. It's like, she's not writing the film and she's not directing the film. She's just the first person who they announced was going to be in the film besides Harrison Ford. So so that's where I think that, like, we have to report news as what is actually out there. Right. Like, not just the fact. I mean, because otherwise, I mean, like look, for example, at Mark Hamill. Right. Mark Hamill is a huge liberal. Right. I mean, like, he's as left as it gets, man. But like, people will still say, well, but I love, Mark Hamill, and I love Mark Hamill. Okay. And I think everybody loves Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, I mean, like, left, right, doesn't matter who you are, because he's Luke Skywalker and he's a great actor, and he's, we love his voice acting, and I'm looking forward to listening to him as Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe thing.
I think the main question is, does it affect their performance? Does it affect how they do their job?
Yeah, and I think, but some of that is you have to wait and see what the film is. You know what I mean? And like, when we don't have a title, we don't have a synopsis, we don't have a plot.
We have nothing but like a couple of photos.
Yeah. So when you have nothing, and then you see literally like 18 videos pop up the day that she was announced, that like it's going to be ruined and it's going to be woke and it's going to be this and that. Like that comes from nowhere. That comes from, like, it's either an overreaction. It's either an overreaction or it's a, I mean, I get it. People say, well, this is who she is, whatever, but it's either an overreaction or it's just a blatant, like, trying to create a narrative where there is none.
For me, it's just kind of a hesitation. I'm like, this doesn't make me feel any better about it. Not having confirmed Shia LaBeouf in it or Marion Ravenwood. I'm Karen Allen, Mutt Williams, respectively. Whatever. It doesn't make it better for me personally. But that's again, everyone's different though. It's not like, everyone from one side is just thinking this or that or the other, And I think you understand that.
Oh, yeah.
It's very true. It's like they're not monoliths on both sides. There's a lot of nuance to each side of the discussions, So
the problem is trying to search for it, because I know it's so hard to find it.
Yeah,
very true.
Well, that's Indiana Jones. I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones coming out, and I can't wait to see what they actually do with it. Now, the other thing that came out that I thought was really interesting, and I'm interested to hear you guys, because I know we're all big Star Wars fans here, but the Boba Fett series is going to tie into the original trilogy, apparently. Yeah, it says Disney and Lucasfilm's upcoming The Book of Boba Fett series won't just serve as a follow-up to the second season of The Mandalorian. It will also tie heavily back to the original film trilogy. As part of a recent interview with Rotten Tomatoes, the show's star Tamara Morrison confirms the event series will fill in the character's backstory right where we saw him in both The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. This is his quote. We're going to see his past and where he's been since The Empire Strikes Back. Somebody pointed out that he has been kind of stuck in this one place, and now's the time to actually go back in time and check out his journey and find out more about him. But yeah, that was the advantage for me, was that we hadn't seen him do much. And along with Robert Rodriguez as director, we were able to sort of introduce him in a dynamic way, bring him back in a dynamic way alongside The Mandalorian. It was just an honor to be asked back. It says, and indeed, Morrison seems excited to be back. He also understands the pressure that's on a series like this from fans in other corners and hopes the series will deliver on those fronts. He goes on to say, I just hope I meet the expectations because you can somehow kind of feel those things. Definitely on the Book of Boba, you can get more of a sense and a feeling for it if it's working or not. So I think with being involved with that last series of The Mandalorian and having a re-entry, it has created a little bit more expectation. But yeah, I feel good. We've done some good work. And then Morrison confirms Robert Rodriguez directed several episodes of the new series, but there are also some wonderful directors involved on others. Rodriguez, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni executive produced the series, which arrives this December. What do you guys think of it? Going back and filling in some of his backstory.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good. I mean, you guys know what my criticism was. Like, I always thought he kind of went out like a punk in Return of the Jedi. So, like, anything we could do to make Boba Fett cool again, I'm down.
Wow.
I mean, they really did that in Mandalorian, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, the scenes that he was in for the Mandalorian was awesome. I was really happy with those. I think they executed, those scenes perfectly. And it was really cool seeing, of course, the actor come back and play such an iconic character as Boba Fett, from all that. I'm excited to see this series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm you guys know what a big Boba Fett fan I am, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping this is good. I'm glad to see them bring him back and have that continuity there. I was glad that they officially made him a Mandalorian again, because there was all that talk, of that, he wasn't really a Mandalorian and blah blah blah. So I mean, I'm glad that they're actually following through with that, and they made him and Jango both Mandalorians. So or Mandalorian blood at least.
No, they got redeemed, but no, I think as far as it goes, I'm interested to see that kind of a backstory, but I also want to see Tamara Morrison come back and play Captain Rex.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to happen. So it's like, yeah, just waiting for that one. Come on, Ahsoka series.
I had a hard time during Mandalorian this year. It took me several episodes to get used to his voice coming out of Boba Fett, because I know they went back and changed it, but I'm still just so used to the original voice.
I hear you, man. I'm right there with you. I know exactly what you mean. He's worth more to me dead or alive, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I'm a child of the early 2000s, so I mean, he's the only Boba Fett I've truly ever known, like the voice and all that. So I mean, it was cool. But I mean, when you did the watch party and seeing like the original voice, I'm like that's really cool. But to me, the voiceover and the rework is like, my Boba Fett, but I mean, it's different for every people. I mean, it's cool hearing both, but
that's George Lucas's revisionist tendencies rearing their ugly heads.
Yep,
right there. Well, no, that's the thing. That's like the whole issue with what people started having with George Lucas is with the special editions. And it was like every movie afterwards, there'd always be a little bit of a retcon of something because the prequels did this. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, we didn't even get Disney Plus without that, man. Without the stupid McClunky thing, for God's sake. Like, what did McClunky add?
I gotta say though, in favor of McClunky, it's such an exciting word. It is my screen name on Disney Plus and Paramount Plus right now.
There you go.
McClunky, like but I mean, had it never happened, it wouldn't be like you'd be sitting here crying about it. You know what I mean? Like I really need a cool word to have as my screen name. You know, like I wish there was something cool like McClunky. Like, you know, like I don't know.
I feel like that was him trying to pronounce. Who was this guy starring in Home Alone? McClunky Culkin. Okay, we'll add that.
Right.
That's a great thing. Yeah. We'll use it. Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Brilliant.
I think part of the criticism, though, yes, brilliant. We'll put it in the movie, and they're like, yes, George. But no, seriously though, I do think a lot of the criticism came from George being so outspoken about colorizing black and white films and tarnishing and ruining other movies. And those critics were very much against the special editions because it felt like he was basically being a huge hypocrite in that regard. And my thing with what I would say in response to that is it's not like he's tampering other people's films. He's doing what he wants with his own films. The only thing that I will say, in actual criticism, between with him creatively, is just like at least let the originals be available in high definition as well. Even if you have to have the special editions attached to it, like I get it. You wanted to add Jabba and stuff, but yeah.
I mean, I never even knew, like growing up, I never even knew that this wasn't the actual version. This wasn't the original version.
Oh, despecialized. Oh, where's the third disc?
It's in the DVD player and the Blu-ray player that's right here next to me.
Oh, nice. You were just watching it?
No, we did a watch party a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
we did a watch party of this. Yeah, because Zod Rider sent this to me. I went on Zod's channel and we gave away a set of this as well. And so
I've seen them. I've seen them in that. Not on Blu-ray. I don't even know like where you even got that, but.
He sent it to me. He said, "Oh no, dude! Look. They did a great job, like making this and everything. I mean, like, look at it. I mean, it's even got like all this stuff on the back. I mean, this looks professional. You know, I mean, like in every way, it looks absolutely amazing in every way.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the
Who
discs,
did this?
Zod Rider.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean,
he made the design of the discs.
Yeah, he made the discs for me and everything. He put the set together.
That is awesome. And great work.
Yeah, man. You would not.
Normally, I'd say he has too much time on his hand, but you know what? It's well worth it.
I can't tell you how professional this is. I mean, like if I didn't know,
my mind is blown right now. Holy shit!
If I didn't know, I would have thought that you just went and bought this in the store because that's how. I mean, look, it's even got the like all the breakdown and everything of all the movies and stuff, the bonus features, the times, like the color coding, like everything in there, man.
Is he selling them? Because I want to place an order.
He's not selling them, but I just tell people get a hold of him.
He would make a killing.
Don't get him sued on the internet.
It's kind of illegal to sell it.
I know. Is he giving them? Is he giving them away for large tips?
I believe I have my original DVDs back there. You can see them barely. I don't know, right down there. So yeah, you can see like 4, 5, and 6 there. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing that you need apparently if you have a copy. You know of no. It's just the regular DVDs, like the 2004 ones. What
Yeah,
the
but
fuck is this?
Does it have Hayden Christensen at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Yes, unfortunately, but I bought them, so therefore, isn't there a whatever? Okay, we'll move past this.
I'll say
Songwriters,
this.
send me a coffee, please. That'd
I'll
be
say
great.
this about the Return of the Jedi. I never understood why he was put in that part. Like even growing up, when I didn't really understand, like this was like a rework. I was like, why is he younger? Why is he back to the younger? Why isn't he like looking old like he just was? Like it baffled my mind. I would ask my dad about him. Like
I understood why.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was like 7 or 8, and I was asking these questions, watching these movies, because that's when I kind of first started watching these. I mean, I went and saw the Revenge of the Sith in the theaters when I was like 4 when that came out. But
You were 4?
yeah.
You're younger than I am.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that never happens.
Yeah, I'm 19, but I'll turn 20 in August. I mean,
yeah, all right. You have one more year until we can buy you a beer.
Yep.
Oh man, no. I remember I saw Revenge of the Sith in the theaters for the first time. I was actually grounded from seeing it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna see it because I'm grounded and crap. But my dad on the last day of school was like, hey son, we're gonna go see a movie, and man, I was so worried that I wasn't gonna see the last Star Wars movie to ever be made at that point. So like, oh man, that movie meant the world to me.
I saw it in Iraq, and they put it up in a hangar.
Okay,
They did. They screened it for you guys.
Yeah, we got to
around
see
when
it like
came
a
out?
month. Yeah, we got to see it like a month before it hit America.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so we saw. They put us in like a little, like a theater, but it was I think it was I can't remember. It's been a while. I think it was a here. I can't remember what we saw, but I know we were all in uniform and we all went and saw it. And this was back before. I mean, you're talking 2004, 2005. Internet wasn't what it was. You didn't have to worry about as much spoilers and everything else, but a lot of it was already pretty much out. There was a website called the Force.net that had pretty much leaked everything, I think.
Oh,
So,
the Force.net, dude. I remember the Force.net.
Yeah, so a lot of it was out, and they really didn't care about as much spoilers because obviously you knew what was happening. You knew the eventuality of what was going to happen anyway. It was just how it was going to happen.
Yeah, how are we going to get there?
What was the lightsaber?
You know what's funny? I remember a red carpet event where it was like Entertainment Weekly or something that was like we sat down with Samuel L. Jackson. His character in the film dies. I'm like, well, thank you.
All right.
No, there's
Not
still
like
people
I
trying
saw
to say
the
he's not
sequel,
dead.
but whatever.
And I don't really think his character is dead, but I
Straight
think
up.
the older and younger, if you ever seeing Mace Windu again, I think it's higher than not.
I think he's dead. He's dead.
You know, a while back we were talking about people, the average people, not the hardcore fans going to see these movies.
Yeah.
In the summer of 2005, when Revenge of the Sith came out, my friend Tom had an incident where he was sitting in the movie, watching the movie, and the twins were born. And she names them Luke and Leia. And the woman in front of him, when she named them, went, oh! Like, she just got it, that this was she sat through 3 movies and it just hit her.
Oh, that's great.
Well, you know,
that's your general audience. That's your general audience.
You know what's funny about that movie though is like I saw it a month after it came out, and the theater was still packed. And when the credits rolled, like when the big Star Wars logo came out, people were still cheering and say yay! For some reason, even though it's been a month, I still don't understand that. You will never see that ever again.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite. That's in my top 5 when I ranked them. When we did our rankings from top to bottom, as far as that Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
That's probably my favorite, simply because I saw it in the movie theater, and I don't know.
I've seen all
great
but
visuals.
one. I've seen every Star Wars movie. In fact, I've seen them all in the movie theaters. I was just too young to remember Star Wars. But as far as being consciously, going to a theater, I've seen them all. Empire Strikes Back is my top one.
Yes.
Rogue One is behind there. So
Really?
I had them ranked. I got a lot of people pissed off about my rankings, but I don't look at Star Wars. As far as its influence and what it means to filmmaking, that's a different ranking altogether. But quality and depth, it's just not the best for me. It's just not the best. It's not the best acting. It's not the best anything. And these movies got better as he was able to gain more technology. That's why I don't have a problem with him redoing his vision and redoing the special editions, because it's his vision. What you see in the earlier films is a truncated version of what Lucas could do because he didn't have the technology to do what he wanted to. I
can go with that to a certain point,
But when
William.
does it stop?
But when they're replacing songs and music when they put in Jedi rocks instead of the song that is in Jabba's Palace or the Yub Nub song, they take that out.
If
that's
was
not
me or you or some other director, I'd have a problem with it. But when the they is the man that's his vision, I don't
hear you, but what I have a problem with is the fact that it's like you take it away for everybody who grew up with that, and now you're going to tell me
gave it to them to begin with.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter when you take away when you make something that's that big, and you're going to tell me that like what I grew up with hearing, like for example, the Yub Nub song at the end of Jedi, for example, and you're going to tell me you're going to tell me that you're going to take away every opportunity for me to ever be able to see that again. I think that's going too far. I think that's going too far with that. It's like you still don't you can make the changes. You can make things updated or whatever, but don't take away what meant so much to people to begin with, because you know what? It wasn't the special editions that won everybody's heart in 1977 and 1980 and 83. It wasn't the special editions. It was those original theatrical versions that won everybody's heart and inspired everybody and inspired all those people. It wasn't those. So do what you want to do with it. Do what you want to do with it, but don't take away what made it special to the people who watched it.
That didn't make it special for me. I always wanted to see what his vision was. And be honest with you, if he had the technology from day one, you wouldn't have seen any of that stuff. To me, I always want to see what the director meant for me to see, for the most part.
But that's the thing. That's the thing I never hear anybody mention. He didn't direct Return of the Jedi.
Nope.
And he didn't direct Empire Strikes Back. And the director of Return of the Jedi was dead. He was dead at the time the special editions came out, so he didn't get any say in it.
Yeah, but once again,
I did not know that.
It's this man's vision, and I wanted to see his vision. It didn't take anything. I'm older than you. I grew up with these movies. Didn't take any, the special editions. That didn't hurt it for me. I mean, and another thing is that we're the newer generation that is coming up with these movies. That doesn't mean anything to them. That means it doesn't mean anything. Episode 1.
I don't think so, man. I think the problem is, okay, well, listen, where I can tell you that you're wrong, though, on that, though, to a certain extent, though, is like when we did our watch party and people literally, you don't know how many messages I got from people thanking me because they had never seen the original theatrical version.
I'm one of them.
And they were literally sending me messages thanking me, telling me how much it meant to them. Literally, people were in tears over being able to see the originals because it was something that they had always wanted to experience and see. And also people who had not seen it since they were a kid or since they were young, because they're just not available anymore in a medium where you can actually just go and watch them now. And people, and it meant a lot to people. I think that
that's
there's somewhere in the middle.
We also got to realize this is a microcosm of the general audience.
I think it's somewhere in the middle, though. I think it's somewhere in the middle. You don't take away from. I believe that George Lucas was an absolute hypocrite in the fact that he was out there campaigning to save movies before this and to keep them preserved and everything. And then when it comes to his, though, he wants to do whatever he wants to do to his. But everybody else, they need to preserve these films and preserve them for history. And then you're just going to tell me that because he wants to do something that they're not going to be preserved for history. I think it's somewhere in the middle. William.
Well,
I'm not saying either way. I'm look. I'm with you. There's parts of the special editions that I really like. Like I like a lot of the additions to A New Hope and Empire. I think some of the as far as the most ridiculous ones are probably Jedi with the Jedi Rocks thing and taking the Yub Nub song out and putting Hayden Christensen at the end and stuff like.
I
to
like
me,
that. I agree with that, and I love that part. I got a reason why, but you know.
That's fine. Look, and everybody's got their own thing, but the thing is that I just think it's there's some things that I think go a little bit too far, and there's some things that I'm fine with, but like I don't think that you should take away what made those movies so special to people who grew up with those films.
I said I grew up with those, and none of that stuff.
But that's you, William.
For me, though, and I hear that from a lot of people. I just showed this movie to a lot of people on May the 4th, and I had a mixture of both people, and nobody was leaving, feeling like somebody had stolen their Boba Fett figure out of their original case. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but from a business sense, I understand where they're coming from too. And as a creator, I understand where he's coming from. And
I mean, for example, would you want Steven Spielberg to go back and take Jaws, for example, and take the mechanical shark out of it and make it a CGI shark, and that was the only way that you could see Jaws going forward?
That's a little bit of an extreme example, but here's where I'm.
How is that an extreme example? It's the exact same thing. It's outdated technology.
That is not the same comparison. No.
How is it not the same?
It really isn't.
Whoa.
I'm agreeing with Enosh here. I think it is the same.
That's the exact same thing. You're taking a classic film, and what if Steven Spielberg said, you know what? I don't like the fact that the shark never worked, that it looks fake, that it's nothing but a big old piece of mechanical things that never worked and didn't work right. So we're going to go back. We're going to insert a CGI shark. So we're going to make it look as real as possible. And then that's the only version you're going to. It's the exact same thing. It's not different at all. You're taking a classic film that people grew up on, and you're replacing an element of it that was the technology is outdated and that it was what it was. But if you want to do that, Steven Spielberg, look, he made the movie. He could do whatever he wants. But there would be a whole issue with that, with people who are purists who would just want to be able to see the original. I'm not saying that you just have to just like cast it out and say that it never has to be, ever again. I'm just saying you just don't cut everybody off from being able to see
what
that
I was trying to say is like that's not the same, because it's not a fair argument, because Steven Spielberg would never do that.
Well, hold on, though.
He did do that with E.T., but
he did it with E.T.
He made sure both versions were available on the DVD.
That was weird when they got rid of the guns, like in that
Yep.
moment. And
It wasn't just
three
the
different
gun
versions of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 3 different versions. Like I have, not with me right now, but he had like I don't know. It was kind of weird with that movie. Three different film cuts of it. Like he had an alternate ending. But I guess the core of your argument is yes, having the original is the same. And one thing I wanted to bring up is that one of in Enosh's case is that for future generations, this is going to be the definitive version, and George Lucas wants that to be the case. And one thing I want to bring up is, if I'm not mistaken, is it not the original version that's cemented in history in the Library of Congress, or is it the 1997 version of Star Wars that's in the Library of Congress?
I think it's in 97. I could be wrong.
I think he went back and he put the 97 version in there, which I think that's a travesty, because it's not the classic film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same film.
And I think he did the same thing with Empire.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same film. It's not the same film.
And that's cemented. That's cemented as this is the definitive version of Star Wars.
But who decides? I mean, like I said, I guess I'm ambiguous to the point where no matter what the movie is, for the most part, unless it's absolutely ridiculous or over the top, I want to see the total 100 fulfillment of the director's vision. Period. I don't care how long it takes me to see it. Once I see his vision, I want to see his vision. You know
There's
what?
some
And
things
if he had a toy shark back then, and that wasn't the fulfillment of his vision, and he wants to do something, and so that I see the film through his eyes. Listen, you got to understand that when you're
William, you don't have to die on that hill and defend.
We're not selling it to a bunch of old men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That is not the median demographic. I'm selling down, and you got to understand that not every level of generation is going to hold on to that. And what you consider a classic, these 6 people consider classic. I'm sorry, if I'm in the business of making money and repackaging and re-representing something, you got to understand your fandom doesn't really count there.
I understand what you're saying, but listen, you're talking about classic films here. You're talking about
who determines that? Who determines
the public, dude? The basis of what it is.
But
I mean,
once again,
you're talking about movies like up there, the upper echelon of film. I mean, you're talking about things like the 10 Commandments or the Wizard of Oz or whatever. I'm just saying, make whatever changes you want if you really wanted to make it something like that. I mean, I guess, but the thing is like the public voted when those movies came out to make those what they were, and it's obvious that was the definitive version for the first 20 some odd years of those films existence. So all I'm saying is, dude, is that when you rob those people of the right to be able to even see those films and you try to insert something else and say, well, this is the thing, when that wasn't the thing, especially when George Lucas was campaigning against people being able to colorize films or update films or go back and even do the exact thing that he did. He did it because he had technology and it ran amok and he had nobody to hold him in check. Brian,
none of that changes the fact that it's George Lucas doing it.
Well, no,
none of that changes the fact that regardless of whether he's hypocritical or not, it is still George Lucas manifesting George Lucas's vision.
Okay, I'm gonna say something really quick and then I'm gonna jet. I think, I mean, if you're looking at it like from like the Blade Runner sense or something like that, where it's like you're gonna have like 10 different cuts until you get the definitive vision of the director whittled down, over time. I mean, I can understand that, but like on the same token, I don't know. I still think both should be available. I mean, the AFI Top 100, it still has Star Wars right up in there, and it's not the 97 version.
Yeah,
because those are different films. And as far as anybody that's into different cuts or anything like that, I mean, I'm sure you can understand that, they are different films at the end of the day. But with that said, I got to go. I got to get some sleep, guys.
I'm going to get going too. I got to get up in the morning and take Tip to the doctor and do some stuff. But it's definitely good conversations. I always love having conversations like this. And I'll leave the last word on this to Ben here. He says, imagine if Da Vinci said that he really had intended for the Mona Lisa to be blonde all along, then proceeded to replace her as a blonde and get rid of all copies of the Mona Lisa as a brunette.
Not a good analogy at all, but
instead of the Mona Lisa, it would be the Mona Lisa.
The Mona Lisa. Benson's, what's up? Benson's with a £5 super chat says, hey, Enosh, sending love to Tiff. Sad news about
Ned Beatty.
Yeah, Ned Beatty, loved him in Superman. Me too, man. Yeah, it is sad news about Ned Beatty. And it's like we're living in a time where people are starting to pass that we grew up with, and even movies that we grew up with. Those are starting to pass, and they're not what they once were. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But
before we wrap this up, while we're talking about Superman the movie, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
I see something green on the shelf behind you. Is that a Fortress of Solitude crystal?
This? Yeah. Hold on just a second.
Sorry, it's been bothering me the whole stream. I gotta know. Inquiring minds.
That entire room is bothering me. So when I get to Michigan, I'll let you know for sure. When I get to Michigan, once I abscond with about 90% of that stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Came out during Superman Returns, and actually there's a glow. You can take out the bottom here, and there's like a glow stick in there that makes it glow.
I've got a replica behind the bar that I bought at Dragon Con a couple years ago. I kept, during the winter when it was snowing out, I kept saying, hey, let's go take that crystal down to the park and throw it.
That's like the weirdest dildo I've ever seen.
That's what I just said. I have one just like it.
You know what? I thought about it before you said it, but then I heard you say it and you got kind of cut off. So Justin said it first. Give Justin the props for the joke.
Thank you. I'm glad we can finally get along.
Give Justin the props.
Oh, yeah.
Give Justin the propers for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Props.
Hey,
right,
you
guys,
know what?
take it easy.
You
I'm
got to
out.
be prepared for all situations.
Well, you came in here, Jarbo, just as we're actually closing down.
Cool.
So, So
I just wrapped up my stream, so
we're almost about the 3-hour mark here. So,
this is still like middle ground for you. Usually
know.
it's like 5-6 hours. If you just
I know.
You sure none of y'all want to do Jeopardy? William, William. I'm kidding. I don't want to do Jeopardy
right now.
I'm taking my melatonin and go to bed pretty soon.
Well, I got to get up in the morning. I got to
before I started this. So
I got to take Tiffany to her follow-up doctor appointment in the morning. So, but I hadn't streamed all week long, and so people were wondering what happened to me and if I was okay and everything. I'm like, yeah, just looking after the wife. Gotta make sure.
Stole him.
Doomcock stole me.
Yeah, people thought I think H Bart's like, did you kill Enosh? I'm like, no.
Yes, he wanted all your super chats, H Barts. He was preventing me from streaming.
Oh, there was a lot of them.
That's a valuable asset to have, H Barts, man.
Oh yeah,
H Barts is.
I'm very thankful for H Barts. I'm 100%. Tomorrow I get my 4K copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League that he sent me. So.
Mine's coming in pretty soon too. Yeah, he sent me a copy too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I get my Indiana Jones box set tomorrow, and I get Zack Snyder's Justice League 4K. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Nice. That's going to be a fun day.
I'm
gonna continue
watching. What does H Barts do for a living that gets him to afford this kind of?
Hey, man.
Well, I'd like to remind him that the Crazy After Dark live stream is Tuesday night at 9.
H Barts, look, you know what? They all want you, man. But you know what?
Trying to raise
me and Matt love you. So Benson's, I will say this before we go out. Benson's with £2 super chat says, have you guys watched Sweet Tooth? It's fantastic. I haven't watched Sweet Tooth yet. We did watch the trailer finally to it, so I saw what it is, and I think we're going to try to give it a chance. But you know what I just binged and watched was the entire first season of Evil. I did not know that was on CBS. I had never seen anything about it. That is a great series.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Evil?
Oh, absolutely.
Not yet. It's on my queue.
If you want a show that's very similar, it has almost an identical premise. There was a show in 2003 starring Skeet Ulrich called Miracles, and it only lasted 13 episodes, and I'm still bitter about it.
I am a little too.
Bitter about it. That could be a whole show, like top 10 shows that got screwed out of their existence because of half of them are because of Fox. But yeah, man, there's like Terminator down, Firefly got screwed, shown out of order.
Lone Gunman.
There.
Sweet Tooth just looks a little weird for me. I don't know. Like I
don't think I'm.
Isn't that the one with the antlers? The antlers from the old.
Yeah. Everybody's saying. I know. Mark here from Benson says that it's really, really good.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
got him.
and
He's freezing. Yeah.
All right, my app is working.
There's a freeze coming.
And you're swinging the dildo around. Okay.
I got one too.
Oh man!
I tell you what.
Let me go find a real one. Hold on.
Oh
no! A real dildo?
No, I don't have a real one. I don't have a real one.
Please don't. Please don't.
I was gonna say you hear it buzzing. Turn your camera off.
2 in the morning.
Oh man.
We don't need this right now.
No, I'm watching the show called.
But we
Arrow.
do.
Arrow.
That's a little bit too
wait, full screen.
I can't get it to come down.
God.
Oh my god!
Right.
Give me 4 hours.
See you next time.
See a hospital if it doesn't.
Look at that! Look at that! It's even like
go to the hospital.
It's ribbed for her pleasure.
Oh boy.
It's like your entire show rating changes.
Oh my god! This is embarrassing.
Oh boy!
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.
It's only 12:30 here.
Thank you, Ted
We're on
Mosby.
Pacific time, so we.
Really good. Have it
Well, hold on. Benson's with a £2 super chat says
Jesus
want another from
Christ.
Enosh. Says never. I don't think I understand what the want another.
Another explosion, another rant. I guess I don't know.
I don't know.
No, he wants you to say it.
Heck no, I won't say it.
Like Kumite. Like
no, man.
Say Mate. Say it.
Mark, I won't say it because it's not true. First of all, there's all kinds of stuff that all kinds of possibilities.
Metaverse is done. Sorry, fam.
Good luck with that.
Agree with
Good
Justin
luck with
here.
that. Good luck with
Finally,
that.
a good opinion out of Justin. I've been waiting for that.
Good luck with that opinion. Good luck with that opinion. We'll see how well that ages.
I
That's all I got to say about it. I'm not going to get
just reading.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it about
the
about
guy
that.
paid money. What can I say?
Exactly. But no, I love Mark. Mark knows I love him. But no. That's good luck with that one. We'll see how that one ages. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow night with more. Also, I did finish my my interview with Stephen Alton, who wrote the Meg series, and also has another movie coming out called The Lock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a whole series of books. Yeah, it's a whole. The books are great. The books are.
Oh, I thought you meant the Meg as.
No, he wrote. Well, I mean, he wrote.
You talking about the shark?
Yeah. Okay.
The book series is phenomenal. And actually, the movie version that we got is I mean, it's got a lot of changes to it from the actual book, but it's a lot better than those first one. I mean, that we actually talk about that in the interview because I mean, that was one of the first things that I remember going to movie websites and reading about was this giant megalodon shark movie that was supposed to come out. I mean, that would have been like the late 90s. He tried. That guy literally, he didn't write that book until he was like 35 years old. Little spoiler alert for you there. He talks about it, like how he got into writing that book. He was just a dude, and it goes to show you that you never know what can happen, And he wrote that original book. People loved it, turned it into a series, and there you go. Benson's with another £5 super chat. Says spell checker again. I typed want another hour from Enosh. Say this night. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, we'll be back. Slippery Fish. I know Slippery was asking about what I thought about the Spider-Man stuff with all the people who are rumored to be coming back and everything. Look, I at this point, if it happens that all all the multiple Spider-Men are coming back, and they're talking about Willem Dafoe now possibly as Green Goblin coming back, and
the Hot Wheel Goblin. Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be cool to see. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how all that flows together. And I mean, I know that there's a take on it right now that explains supposedly how it's supposed to happen. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That I'm not so sure about. I don't know that that's what's happening. So we'll see. I think it'd be cool.
As long as the Time Lizards approve of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know how the fuck that works, but whatever.
We need to.
No, they made a good case for me waiting around and figure it out, though. I really enjoyed the first episode of that show.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it was awesome.
So many memes, so many jokes. It's lovely. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
We need two more
the
people.
The detail was what I enjoyed about it the most. The fact that there was a long, laid out, crafted thing that they basically, paid attention to now, and they were paying attention to then. And like I said, I told him the other night, I don't always enjoy Marvel's content. In fact, just under half of it, if it never existed, I'm okay with. But I do appreciate the organizational structure and the production structure that they have in place. And that's what stops DC from being a juggernaut. Not its content, but its managerial and organizational structure. Once that changed, that's like letting the train loose.
There you go. Well, hey guys, thank you for joining me tonight. We had a good time, as we always do, talking about all this fun stuff and Indiana Jones and all this other good stuff. And I look forward to seeing what the future has. I do want to say shout out here to Crazy Joe. Thank you for being on tonight. It was his first time here in the lounge.
Hey,
Welcome.
thanks for having me. It was a
But-
blast.
and we're gonna try to do this thing on Tuesday.
Well, I hope I've had the thumbnail made up for
I know
3 weeks.
I know,
so
man. I apologize. I feel so bad about that.
That's
but-
all right. When you canceled last week, Junkman stepped in. So
Oh, good. So, and you want to go ahead and tell them, Joe, what your channel is, so that everybody can be looking forward to that and come and check us out on Tuesday.
it's Mega Podtastic here on YouTube. Mega Podtastic, you can find me on YouTube under Mega Podtastic, and the megapodtastic.com is where you'll find my podcast. And then I'm Mega Podtastic on every conceivable social media as well.
There you go. And Brian, you want to tell them where they can find you, sir?
Yes. Well, you can find me here a lot of the time, but you can
Absolutely.
You can also find me at my channel, Brian, the Master of None, where I'll be doing some more prime time streaming because I work or get out earlier. So there you go.
There you go. And Justin, we'll even let you tell everybody where they can find you, sir. If you didn't go away.
Oh no, I'm right here. Yeah, I'm Justin Proper. This Week in Bullshit comes back at 7 p.m. Eastern on this Thursday. Check out the last one that we did. It's not your typical, fandom menace, stream, whatever preconceived notions that you have. Literally for an entire hour, we talk about chickens. Like it's the weirdest show that I've ever had. It's so weird, but I love every second of it. And that's half the battle of having your own YouTube channel. If you're gonna do it, may as well talk about stuff that you love and just go with the flow and have a good time. The one thing I will say about This Week in Bullshit is that if you're a guest, you're just there for the ride. You have no control. No one has control. It's just going to be fun. It's just going to be fun. And that's all I got to say about that. And hopefully, Enoch, we get to have you someday. And Saggy, we will be a part of it. So that way, you're not uncomfortable entirely. You'll have somebody.
Saggy makes you comfortable?
One day I'll be on.
No, we're not done. No.
One day I'll be on. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Justin Proper is my friend.
Oh boy,
he's my buddy with that open collar. Yes, I love Justin with his open collar, and we are so sad that Star Wars died.
But there's hope.
We'll be
You
out
are
of there.
now disinvited.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, damn.
God damn you.
What can I say? Yes, we do have a Discord. That's actually what I was getting ready to tell you. So we do have a Discord. Let me pull it up here for you. And unless somebody has it,
No, I got to get that from Scotty. I do not have that.
Yeah. Okay. So because you know what? Because the invites they
expire so quickly.
They expire, and I hate that about.
You can
Discord.
change
So-
that. Like you can have it say like never to expire, right?
Yeah, but we were talking about that, and we want to make sure that we have it protected and stuff. So I'm sending it right now to.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, my mods added a verification room on mine. So
yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff in place, but yeah, we were just doing this. Hold on a second. So I will. What's going on? So yeah, so here is here's the Discord. Check out our Discord. People are having a lot of great fun over on our Discord.
Awesome.
And so
Yeah, I
there's
might need
tons
to-
of rooms. There's tons of rooms, tons of places for you guys to hang out over on the Discord. And yep, lots of good times to be had there. All right, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow night with another stream of some sort, and with a whole other panel of people, and maybe some of these guys, and yep. And I'll be here, and you'll be here, and we'll have things we'll want to talk about. I will too.
Nice.
All right, guys.
Just one last thing, real quick. Just one
Thank
last
you,
thing.
neighbors. Yes, sir.
Stay hopeful, my friends.
Yes, well, we all
Oh,
know
man.
Doomcock is the pinnacle of hope and joy and trying to keep Star Wars alive. So, all right, guys. Like I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, and don't try to tell somebody that their fandom doesn't matter. But make sure to have good conversations, right? And to stay hopeful. I mean, some people are genuine about that, and I know I am. And so I'll just leave you with this. Stay hopeful. Stay hopeful. That Star Wars will be just fine. Till next time, guys, stay nerdy. And
like it's a massive thing, and
Yeah.
so I want to see his thing.
George Lucas made a massive thing that apparently William wants to see. He said it over and over again. I didn't use the drop back then. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.